Welcome back, everyone. This is ESA Summer 21. We are raising money for Save the Children, a wonderful organization dedicated to helping millions of children around the world. You can find links to donate below the stream. Thank you again to Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. I'm going to pass it off to blueharvey as they show off Final Fantasy IV.
Hello ESA, and welcome to this year's ESA Summer 2021. Thank you to OnlyKate for this lovely introduction for this run. I have with me two amazing commentators, Bendesh and Mitaka. They both will help me go through this run because I don't think I can commentate for 4 hours in a row without having a sore throat. So I definitely need two people lending me a hand with that. And yeah, without further ado, I would say 3, 2, 1, let's go. Okay, so at the start of this run, you immediately skip cutscenes because that's a thing in the 3D remake of FF4. Then we have to fight two floating eyes. Both of them have 40 HP, which can be killed in one hit if we have good RNG. If we have bad RNG, then we deal less than 40 damage, which loses us 10 seconds every time. Just like now. It's kind of a bummer that we can't consistently do 40 damage, so it is one of the biggest reset points in the entire run, just because you can lose 10 seconds within the first 10. So, a little explanation as to why I'm running normal mode as opposed to hard mode. I actually started with running hard mode because I translated the Japanese DS run like in between 2016 and 2019. It took me 3 years to finish. I translated that run within 3 years. And that was on DS. And the DS version only has hard mode. So if you played the DS version, you actually only played the hard mode version of Final Fantasy IV. So I'm technically playing the easier version with playing normal, but it's still not very easy. It's still pretty difficult. But yeah, that took quite some time and effort, and the reason why I'm running normal mode now is because Bendesh and the current world record holder, Quaspalm, amazing people. They were working their arms off to get this new route on, and had got to the game and gave us a lot of new route changes, which increased, or should I say decreased, the time of this run by a ton. Absolute shoutouts to those guys. Absolutely amazing people. Okay, and after this short little cutscene intro, we're going to change the battle speed on Cecil. Going to go to settings and go to battle speed slow. Because when we have to deal with random encounters, we don't want to get attacked. Since in this run, we don't fight any single random encounter there is. We only fight mandatory encounters throughout the run. Yeah, during the run, at all times, we do want to have wait mode activated, because active could screw up the run if we would do it accidentally. So if you see me, change anything else but the battle speed, then I most likely messed up, and it's something I wouldn't want to do. Because, yeah, this run can be quite brutal at times. Yeah, at the start of the run, we're getting introduced to all the characters, which we will see throughout the game. Of them being Kain, Rosa, and of course, our favorite character, which returns in every single FF game, Cid. And yeah, and now we come to the renaming section, which is kind of weird, because even though we have the chance to rename our character, we can't. Like, if it would rename Cecil to, like, Cid or something, his name would not be changed. It would still be Cecil, for whatever reason. It would still stay Cecil. I can type in anything I want, it just stays Cecil for the entire playthrough. Just kind of a bummer. But, yeah, what you gonna do? Okay, probably the two most annoying cutscene skips in the entire run coming up right now. Also, if you see my cursor, that it's because of the cutscene skips. It's actually more precise to skip the cutscenes with the mouse, because there's, due to the latest update, I don't know why, but for some reason in the latest update, there's like a delay if you want to do the cutscene skips, and it's very laggy, and the slow stuff, the not fast stuff. So we take the chocobo and go to our first dungeon, the Mist Cave. And here in the Mist Cave, we will find this mapping way guy, which we saw earlier, who wanted to change our name. But since he didn't change our name, he just gave us a map instead, because this is something that the remake has, which I don't think the SNES version has. Mitako could fill me in on that, because I never played the SNES version, but he has.
Yeah, that is correct. There is no dungeon map or anything to follow you along in the Super Nintendo version.
Okay, also, right before we fight Mist Dragon, we want to unequip everything on Kane except the weapon, and then we want to change battle speed to fast. We were super lucky and didn't get a single random encounter, so we started off really good. And Mist Dragon is a little bit sketchy, because it's a fight where we have to survive with Cecil and kill Kane at the end of it, so we can get all the EXP on Cecil. And what just happened right now was really bad. We don't want that Mist Dragon attacks while one other person attacks and the other is still in the queue, because this messes up ATP quite a bit. So Mist Dragon, another one. Mist Dragon has a total of 556 HP, and we try to defeat Mist Dragon without... Come on. Yes! Right before dissolving into mist. Perfect. Okay, good. Mist Dragon should be 2 hits away from Cecil before death. So we have to kill Kane now, wait until his ATB is filled up. Re-Darkness Cecil, because Darkness is a little bit different in this version. It actually boosts your attack instead of being... I don't know. They're like lasers in the other versions of FF4. In this version, it actually buffs your attack, but... because it buffs your attack, you also take return damage for the extra attack, or the extra damage you deal for Mist Dragon. One more hit and we should be good. And that's Mist Dragon, the first boss in the run. That's a pretty nice time. Okay, want to change battle speed again. Battle speed to slow, and then we go to the dungeon. And no, we're not getting dancing daggers, because we can't do the glitch in this version. There are other means of dealing damage in this run. So yeah, this is quite different from the SNES version, and since Mitako here is our expert for the SNES run, you might be a bit surprised seeing a couple of things which are completely different in this version as opposed to the SNES run. So yeah, I would love to hear what you kind of expect from this run, since it's a lot different than what you know.
I mean, if I know anything about Final Fantasy, I'm expecting levels and really tight execution in battles. But yeah, there's an interesting thing here. So basically what's happened is that, so we're part of the Red Wings, and in the intro cutscene that we go to a town called Mesidia and we have to steal a water crystal from it. And when we return to the king in Baron, we question the motives of that, and then he just gets rid of our ranking and sends us to the village of Mist here with a ring, and we're supposed to deliver the ring, and it actually turns out that the ring's got monsters inside it, and it starts destroying the town that little girl already is from. So it's a really kind of like dark opening to the story. But yeah, in the Super Nintendo version, we've got a really cool tent skip we can do, and we enter the village of Mist from the wrong side, which doesn't instantly trigger the fights with Riddy and Titan there, the summoner. So we were able to do a little bit of shopping with a glitched inventory, which gets us really powerful items really early on. So bit of a different start.
Well, this version is not as buggy, but it is still kind of buggy. We will get into that a little bit later. But so yeah, stay tuned for that. If you want to see some incredible things that we can do in this run that are not even which are not possible in any other run, or any other version of FF4. Well, I can't vouch for the Pixel Remaster because they drop in like 10 hours from this run. And FF4 is even part of that, so I don't know if that is a glitch there as well, so we have yet to figure out. So yeah, next are these guards that we have to fight, and what we do is use Red Fang, and we just wait. They're always outspeeding us, even in hard mode. In hard mode, this is actually also a reset point, because you could under-damage if they deal too much damage to you. So I came up with an idea, like what if you would use Defend at the start, so all three get their attacks off, and once you defend, they deal less damage to you, and then use Red Fang. I haven't ran hard mode in like a year, or maybe 2 even, so there's still a ton of improvement to be done for that run. I would say sub 4 hours is probably doable for hard mode. Okay, so the next shop right here, we have to sell everything except Iron Shield. Iron Shield is a very important item that we need later on. Emergency exit, 6 potions, and the Maiden's Kiss. We leave the inn, and then we go to the top right place, to this little hut here. And then we see Rosa being in a bed, being sick. And she has like terrible fever and everything. And we are going on a journey to find something to cure her. In the meantime, the game is giving us a naming way or mapping way or whatever way again, and telling us about the side quest. There is actually a very interesting side quest with this guy, which you can do, which includes an augment, which is also something that's 3D exclusive, the augments in this game, which are a thing that you can only get in the DS, Steam, and phone version, i.e. 3D remakes. And he gives us an augment called Safe Travel. And Safe Travel is a very powerful augment which basically disables all random encounters throughout the run. And as you know, that's quite powerful, especially for a run like this. This would save us several minutes. However, there are several reasons why we don't do it. One of them being we have to go to a place called Feymarch, which is pretty far out of the way, which would take a lot of time to pick up, or a lot of time to get there. And we would only be able to use Safe Travel once we get Fusoya and Engine of Babel and before Zeromus, which is the final boss. Another reason, which Bendesh might be able to talk a little bit more about, is something that we call RNG manipulation. This game has RNG manipulation, but the way it's done is mind-boggling. Like, I myself don't even completely understand how it works. Bendesh is your specialist for that, so you would probably have to ask him.
Yeah, it's really tedious, honestly. Like, to successfully RNG manipulate this game, like the RNG seed is decided the second you start the game. So if you change your system time on your PC and open the game at the correct second, then you'll get the same RNG. So with that you can like brute force the RNG, see if you get something good. It has some uses even in any percent, but we're not gonna show it off because it's sort of risky, and if you mess it up then you're gonna lose a lot of time. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, we don't want to show RNG manipulation because we kind of fear that it might screw up with the entire setup to like stream the entire thing at the ESA Marathon, and since we don't want to risk that, we rather not want to show it off on stream or on this marathon, because we don't want tech to be stressed out because something is not working because I changed my PC clock. Would be not good. So yeah, we're currently in the sewers, just grinding away or going your way through the sewers and trying to get as little encounters as possible. There is what we call a strategy that we call QSRL, which is quick save reload. And this quick save reload strat is, I think, I can't recall if it was Dash or Quaz who like tested that the first time or figured that out.
It was Quazplum.
It was Quaz, okay.
Yeah.
So Quaz figured this out and was like, there is like a pattern at how many seconds after you get an encounter, the next encounter will appear. And he felt like there's like a pattern of like 11 seconds after you get an encounter. That's the average amount of time which passes between encounters. And if you save and quit, or quick save and reload, that's what I mean. If you quick save and reload the game, after those 11 seconds after you did a QSRL, a quick save reload, or you just had an encounter, then you should supposedly bypass the next encounter. However, nothing of that is completely proven. It's just theory stuff. It's just like stuff that was done with stats and all. If someone in chat is actually very good with like looking into code and like knows stuff how encounters work in games and stuff, feel free to contact us and help us because we have no idea how that works, and we would love to be able to RNG manipulate the encounters in an easy way or easier way to be more preferable. So yeah, if any one of you is very knowledgeable in that field, feel free to contact us because we have no idea, and this could save a lot of time and a lot of nerves and a lot of resets.
Yeah, just to add, like each encounter takes about at least 8 seconds before you're able to move again. But a quick save only takes about 4 seconds. So, in theory, if you were able to quick save right before every encounter, you would save 4 seconds all the time. But obviously, when you get an encounter, it's completely random. So, we need to like say, okay, every 10 seconds we should try to do it. But it's like different for each area, and it's really complicated to like calculate without having access to code.
Cool, if I fit in a couple of donations.
Of course, of course.
All right, we have $55.55 from Alpha Centauri. And then we also have $35 from Proetics164 saying, a huge thank you to all of the tech crew who keep the events looking and behaving so smoothly throughout the runs. Your work is seen.
You can go for like one more.
All right. I'll actually just use that time to remind everyone that Save the Children's Bold Ambition builds on 100 years' experience in bringing communities, civil society, governments, businesses, and donors together in achieving lasting change for children. As a global leader in saving newborn lives, Save the Children continues to be at the forefront of worldwide efforts to end preventable child deaths with a focus on maternal, newborn, and child health and nutrition.
Alright, so we're coming up probably the worst boss in the game, in my opinion, which is Octomomoth. I need quite a bit of concentration for that fight, so I'll let Bendesh and Metako take over for this fight, because I have to completely concentrate, because it's a really, really annoying fight to do correctly the first try. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Dash,
so,
take it away.
Of course. The gimmick with this boss is that he's got like a lot of tentacles, and as you deal more and more HP, he will start to lose the tentacles, so you can gauge how much HP he's got left. So right away, Harvey wants to poison him, which he just did, which is very nice. That's not a guarantee. That will continuously damage him throughout the entire battle. And the timing, once again, he wants only Cecil to gain all of the experience from this fight. So at the very end, he wants to kill off Tella and Rydia. But the problem with this is that when it gets low on health, it's attacks that gets like tripled or something. Like Tella says that a wounded beast is a dangerous one. And then it just starts dealing crazy damage. So he needs to kill off his characters at the same time as making sure he won't die. And that's a tricky balance to maintain throughout this fight. So he needs to like balance, like he has good heals from Tella, and also this spell right here, Blink, which it makes the character, any attack physical attack will miss. Just like that. And that will work twice. After that, blink wears off. There we go, Mesidia is already dead. She doesn't do anything in this fight. It's mostly just Cecil and Tella. So far, it's looking good. Also, because the fight is so long, darkness will wear off at some point from Cecil, so needs to reapply it in order to keep up the damage. And here we got the cutscene or Tella talking about how the monster is gonna get stronger. It almost feels...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Carry on.
Wait.
Yeah, carry on. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I tried to meme. And it
Okay.
didn't work.
Yeah, it almost feels like the boss gets stronger because Tella says it will get stronger. Feels a bit weird. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, darkness just wore off there.
Attack Tella, please. Wait, actually no. Attack Cecil once.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if we have 2 misses left on Blink, because if we don't, then we might be in big trouble. If this is the last attack, oh my god.
Okay.
We might be in big trouble. Might.
Yeah.
Just might. I think we are.
You need to survive another hit.
Uh-oh.
I'm not sure if you will.
Come on, please don't crit. I think
Oh
we're dead.
my god.
Oh my god!
Oh.
No way, don't miss. Yes!
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh wow. Okay, that's clutch. Very nice.
Textbook fight. Could not be improved.
Oh my god. This is why I hate this fight. This is why I hate this fight. Oh my god. Also, now we're coming up to Damsean Castle, and before we get to our favorite cutscene in the entire game, we will actually loot the Damsean Castle. I mean, they have already been bombed, so let's loot them. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, they have a couple of chests in their dungeons that they allowed to give us. If we go to the east entrance, we will, or should I say the castle dungeons, we will go to this downer area and take those 2 chests. One's the Phoenix Down and one's the Ether. Then go to the lower left corner and get an elixir. And then we will go out again. And then we walk to the right, so we are instantly out again, and then we go in again, and then we will go or walk to the center of the Damsean Castle, where we will meet someone and see something that a lot of people are familiar with, and a lot of people know and probably meme about a lot. Also, on the occasion, as I can talk right now, a lot of people might not know, but I am someone who's actually very good in modeling stuff, and I actually made a model for Edward, as you can see right here. The perfect model of a Edward, as you can see right here. Absolutely perfect. Doesn't he look amazing? The Spoony Bard? Like, absolutely amazing. Yeah. Love this Edward. Love it. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little of downtime, so if there are any donations, then feel free to take it away.
Well, how about we add a little bit of incentivizing to people who are probably thinking about donations. If you, over the course of the entirety of the marathon, donate a cumulative $50, you could be entered to win a Sony PlayStation 5 with Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. There are a couple of ViewSonic monitors that you could be entered to win for $25 cumulatively or $35 cumulatively. There is also the Nintendo Switch Custom Pro Controller that you can get for cumulatively donating $30. And then we have the Bomberman Bead Sprite, which all you have to do is cumulatively, over the course of the entire marathon, donate up to $10.
Okay, this is the end of the favorite Spoony board cutscene. We skip that, and then we suddenly emerge out of the sands with an air gummy boat. I don't know the correct English word for it, but I think it's an air gummy boat. So we will make ourselves go to the west, go to Magic, Cure, Radia, and Cecil. I actually didn't fully heal Cecil, that's very bad. We do want a full heal. Then we change party and so party formation, Radia to the lowest slot, settings change to battle speed slow, and then we go to the endlines then. So to explain why I just changed the battle position or party formation for Radia, that's because of how the characters join your party. The characters always join at the top slots of your party. Like if your most top slot is empty in your party, then the next character which will join will be in that slot exactly. And the next party member who will join will be Rosa, as we get back from Antlion stand and give her the Sand Pearl. She will join the party and will fill up the top slot. However, that is in the back row, which is intended. The reason why we do it actually is not because of Rosa herself. We actually do it because of Yang. Because when Rosa joins on the top in the back row, when she joins the party, Yang will then join in the lower slots of the party. However, he will join in the front row, which is something very much needed for the Mother Bomb fight, which will happen after the Antlion fight. Okay, so we're coming up on Antlion 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the staircases I'm counting, and then we change the battle speed back to fast. As you might have seen, I've picked up the chest earlier, which is Spider Silk. The Spider Silk is needed during the Antlion fight to slow Antlion down, because Antlion hits quite hard, and we do not want to get hit hard during this fight. Like, optimally, we don't want to get hit hard. So we use Spider Silk with either Edward or Radia, and use Hermes Sandals with Cecil, which we got a little bit earlier. Okay, Radia is dead, so we don't have to do anything with her. Hermes Sandals with him. And once slow lands, and we have Hermes Sandals on, we immediately go into darkness and attack when Antlion's eyes are red. Dash, Metako, if you want to add anything, now's your chance, because I don't think I will be able to talk a lot while I have to fight this guy.
So in the Super Nintendo version, we actually have Dancing Daggers on Edward and Radia for this fight, so they actually do all the damage, and Cecil doesn't do anything. A big difference as well is that in this version, you'll see that Harvey is specifically leveling Cecil up in lieu of the other characters. But in the Super Nintendo version, we go for everyone stays alive in every fight as best as possible to try and average our levels out as best as we can. So yeah, it's a pretty stark difference. And the hovercraft in the Super Nintendo version does not go across rivers. You have to go the long way around to this cave. Could also talk about so the castle we were in Damsean. The idea there was that Tala, who joined us, wants to go and find his daughter Anna, and we arrive in the Red Wings, who are now controlled by Golbez, another guy. They bombed the place when we arrived, and then they stole the fire crystal.
Yes.
For Baron is the idea. So, see, it seems like the Red Wings are in for this real nefarious acts, and maybe it's a good thing that we got away from them.
And that's Antlion. Very quick to deal with. That's actually also a class strat to actually do 2 attacks during the White Eye section, because when you attack Antlion, it counters regular attacks when it has White Eyes, and it counters... one sec. Emergency exit. It counters spells attacks if you use spells during its Red Eyes phase. So we want to do as much damage as possible during the Red Eyes phase, so we can kill Antlion within 2 hits in the White Eyes phase, because counter does a ton of damage, and we could, like, I've died before because of bad RNG and getting Cecil single targeted by Antlion the entire time. Yeah, it's it can be quite brutal, but we were lucky and got out of it. Now we're coming back to Rosa and giving her the Sand Pearl because I sorted my menu. I can just press up and instantly am at the Sand Pearl menu. And just like that, Radia's back to normal. Yeah, a little more story progression going on. She's still feeling a bit sickly, but she's determined to come with us and aid our party. So, if there are any donations right now, feel free to take it away.
Absolutely. We have Jabawabs with $20 saying, I've got to donate for that clutch survival at 1 HP. That was absolutely glorious. We also have $30 from Siri saying, that was the best Bard model I'd ever seen. I think I need like 15 of those now. I might even put them in a drawer in my kitchen. Thanks for the awesome Final Fantasy IV run.
Yeah, this fight is basically just more story stuff. You have to do 3 hits total to this guy. You can actually die to this guy, contrary to belief, but you can actually die to this guy. I've died here once before, but I think that's a hard mode exclusive, because in hard mode he can deal way too much damage than he should. Yeah.
One time I died to this fight because in the Spoony Bard fight with Tala, you just don't attack to finish it. And in the Waterhag fight, you do attack to finish it, and I got them the wrong way around. In a run once, I just wasn't thinking, so I just sat there and watched Waterhag like wail on me, and I absolutely died.
Oh boy.
Do you know how much health the Waterhag has?
You mean Sahagin?
Oh, so yeah.
Sorry, I don't know the names in the SNES version. Sahag, I don't think. I think it's like in this fight, it's a question mark amount of HP because it just dies in 3 hits. I think I could be wrong. Yeah.
I think I remember someone saying it has like 40,000 health or something in the original, and it's like you can't actually kill it even if you could overflow damage.
Oh boy, I didn't know that. Okay, so we picked something up there just now, something very important for the run. It's called Item Lore. It's the first augment which we are going to pick up in the run, and you will see it used in like 23 to 24ish minutes, where we give it to twins that you will probably know about if you've seen FF4 before. But yeah, currently we are on our way to go to Mount Hobbs, which is on the northern part of the world map. And did I change the battle speed? My short-term memory is really bad when it comes to stuff like that.
You did.
Okay, thank you very much. When it comes to my short-term memory, especially when it comes to like battle speed, I always forget stuff like that. It's really bad. Okay. Yeah, and here's a little story plot development thingy, because Rydia was scarred, mentally scarred, because her entire village was destroyed and her mom was killed by a bunch of bombs, and those bombs use a lot of fire. And even though she's a black magician, she refused to learn the spell Fire, and then the entire party helped her and convinced her to use the spell Fire, so we can actually continue through the game. Small little story snippet right here.
It's been a very trying 30 minutes for her, I'm sure.
It's actually less, because it took us 7 minutes to get there. So yeah, it's been 25 minutes. It's crazy. They always talk oh, this was such a long time ago. Yeah, 25 minutes is a really long time ago. Yeah, we have a couple of encounters here, and this one is a bit annoying to get away from. Okay. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it takes less long to get away from them. And then Ordeals staircase, we want to change the battle speed because we're about to enter a fight with Yang. If you can see my cursor, I'm sorry to destroy the illusion. but I have to use the cursor for fast cutscene skips. If I could do it successfully. Also, in the 3D version, the augment or the ability kick is busted. You deal way too much damage with this augment. Way too much. I heard that in the SNES version, kick is actually really useless. It deals next to no damage, but in this version, it deals way too much damage than it should.
Yeah, you don't get that in the Super Nintendo version. Yang's not known for his DPS.
Contrary to belief. So yeah, this is the Mother Bomb fight. How this works, we attack once. I actually did mess up, but we can salvage this. I actually was supposed to attack once with Yang here, but I didn't. This would actually make the fight faster if I attack first with Yang and then do focus. But I forgot for some reason and just started focusing from the get-go. So what you want to do, you want to focus 3 times with Yang. So at the end of the Mother Bomb fight, you can just kick all 6 bombs which are going to appear in one shot. Do we get the transformation? Yes, we do. Okay. It would actually be faster if we would attack first and then do the focus, but minor detail, forgot about that. But yeah, it saves like 10 seconds or something. Okay, now we just have to defend and hope that our main DPS guy Yang survives this. He should be. 1... She's about to explode! And then, like, very special effects happens, and then... Bygone! And they're gone. Easy as pie. Easy as pie. And that's about the bomb fight. Okay, we have quite the walking section until we are at the Fabul castle, so if there's any inputs from Atako, Bendesh, or if there are any donations to be read, then feel free.
All right. We have $60 from Sir Nottingham saying, "Thank you all for putting in so much work for a great cause." And then we have Pro Z donating $50 saying, "Hey Harvey, from this day, you should be called 1 HP Harvey."
1 HP. Oh man. Thanks, Pro Z.
So at this point, on the end of the events that have happened in Damsean Castle and getting Rosa back, we've decided that we're going to head to Fabul now, and we're going to protect the Wind Crystal from the Red Wings under their new leader of Golbez. So now we've got Master Yang, the warrior monk. We know that he's in service to the Kingdom of Fabul, and he's in charge of protecting the crystal. So we're going to head over there now and see what we can do about that.
Thank you for actually explaining this story, because even though I did a cutscene percent like a couple months ago, I forgot most of the story. I've just speedrun this game way too much recently, so I forgot like a lot what like the intricacies of the story, of how like the stuff connects. I know like the grand scheme of the story I still remember, but like the very intricate stuff, I sadly don't. So don't be angry at me, please.
Yeah, I've been slammed for not knowing the story for many's a game, many's a time. So I'd say Fabul Castle for me in the Super Nintendo run is one of the worst segments by far. You basically do a boss gauntlet against it's around 6 different enemy packs, and at this point we're really banking on Edward for doing all the damage with his dancing daggers, and he is really fragile.
I didn't know that. This is the funniest thing ever, because Edward is useless.
It is great because like
it's the exact opposite.
The first half of the game is like Edward %. He is so good with dancing daggers. Like he and really carry a lot of the stuff that we do. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it's like he's doing like 150 plus damage with the dancing dagger, and like Cecil's sitting there doing 50 with his sword, and Yang sitting doing 34 with his foot.
it's actually the exact opposite here. Edward is useless, and Young and Cecil are the damage dealers. As you can see, kick and whoosh, they're gone. It's insane, like the contrast between the SNES run and the 3D remake run. How the strats are completely different, because the stats are also completely different. It's mind-boggling to me, like hearing that Edward is strong or useful at all. I think it's funny. So yeah, so in this gauntlet, we actually want the enemies to attack Cecil as much as possible, because Cecil has to die at the end of the gauntlet. Or no, he doesn't have to die at the end of the gauntlet, but when Kane encounters him, Kane uses jump on Cecil, and if that jump doesn't initially kill Cecil, then we waste like 40 seconds just going through like battle text. So we want Cecil to be below 200 HP to be absolutely sure that he will die. From the first jump that Kane does. Otherwise, we will lose a bunch of time. So every time we have to fight these guys right here, we hope that Cecil gets attacked, but we outspeed them every time. So we just have to pray at this point. So yeah, this will move on for like 3 more fights. So we're getting back attacked here, but like a guy that can cast Tornado. This is very scary. If this guy casts Tornado on Yang, we're in big trouble. Let's hope this doesn't happen. Oops. Okay, didn't happen. Very good, very good. We just do a single attack with Yang and we're good. I actually have to attack Cecil's self now, because otherwise we will probably not do enough damage, or we will probably not be low enough health on Cecil to get what we want. Dude, how many fights have we done now? Like 4 or 5? And they haven't attacked Cecil once. What is this? What is this RNG game? Come on, game. Attack me once. They can't. They can't even attack me once. Ooh, a tent. I actually had recently a thought where we could use tent for like a strat, but I cannot recall for the life of me where that would be. Oh yeah, right, that was for Demon Wall. Okay, let me check how much damage if they actually attack Cecil. Of course they don't, because why would they? So we have to do it ourselves. And we get the double church, which loses us time, but I mean, whatever. We want to get the fast Kane cutscene, so we gotta deal with this. Do a quick kick attack, and then we're done with the Fabul fights. So now we're just basically waiting for Kane to follow us into the crystal room and one-shot Cecil into oblivion. Why are you doing this, Kane? I will not answer your questions. So yeah, but this does take a quite bit until the battle text is over. Then you will see him doing the jump, and he does like around 200-ish damage. Ooh, 228 actually. Like, he can damage roll you, he can do less than 200 or above 200. Hello? Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's the Fabul fight stuff. And as you probably heard, Cecil is voiced by the lovely Yuri Lowenthal. If you don't know him, he is the voice behind the, was it the Amazing Spider-Man? Well, the most recent Spider-Man game which came out, and he's also the voice in Rex, or he also voices Rex in Final Fantasy XII. And speaking of Final Fantasy XII, if you want to watch Final Fantasy XII, this run will be up tomorrow at probably around this time, actually. Like in around 24 hours, I think. You will see Zero Scar, a good friend of mine, speedrunning Final Fantasy XII. So stay tuned for that. It's an amazing run, and Zero is an absolute phenomenal runner. So I can only vouch for him, and I'm really excited to watch the VOD because I sadly have to work when the run is happening. So yeah, we picked up a bunch of items here. One of them being the Hermes sandals in the pot, which we just went, and on the 2 chests on the right, where we went, we picked up once a ether and once a spider silk. That spider silk is very useful for the Goniatzo fight, so he will do less annoying attacks throughout the fight. Because Goniatzo can be a very, very annoying fight, especially when he opens with slow. And yeah, there's not much more to it. So yeah, we have quite a bit of walking now until the next big story part or the next big fight's coming up. So if there are any donations, then feel free to take it away.
We do have a donation from Bell Wolvie for $40 saying, thanks to the organizers, commentators, and runners. Love you all. And they put that money towards having the file name as Taskbot for Wind Waker HD, as well as the Donut Drake costume for Uncharted Drake's Fortune 80%.
So if anyone's wondering what's happened to Rosa during the cutscene that the Harveys just skipped there, so Golbez has swanned in with Cain, who suddenly has become evil in some way that we don't know about yet. And so what happens is that Cain takes the crystal and Golbez kidnaps Rosa from us, and we're now about to fall under even more tragedy now that we've left Baron in this little boat, because there seems to be a little water friend that appears.
Oh yeah, speaking of this boat ride, for some reason, and sometimes I don't know why, this game likes to randomly not play the music bit during this boat ride. As you can hear, there is nothing other than sound effects. And usually you should hear the overworld map theme when you during the boat ride here. But for some reason, sometimes it just doesn't play. Don't ask me why. It do be like that sometimes. I'm sorry. Metako's sneezing was on point as when the boat was shaking when Leviathan hit the boat. It happened at the same time.
That's the gift I give to you.
It just got me off guard. I was like, wait, what? Like coincidences like that just does it for me. Like, something like that happens and I'm just rolling. I'm just rolling. Okay, the most unique theme in the entire game, Mesidia. I don't think there's any game or any theme that's more unique than Mesidia theme. I doubt it, honestly. Shoutouts to Nobuo Uematsu, phenomenal composer. I think we all can vouch for that. He's absolutely amazing. Yeah, we're talking to the Elder and tell him, yeah, we want to become a Paladin. I don't like the life as a Dark Knight anymore. And he will hand us 2 companions, Palom and Porum, who are a very important part of this run. Not only because they deal a bunch of damage in a couple of fights, but they also give us a bunch of arguments once they leave us again. Okay, and once we leave this place, we actually have 2 shops to visit to. One of them is the weapon and armory shop. Right here. I'm gonna sell a bunch of dark armor stuff. Deathbringer, Dark Shield, Dark Helm, Dark Gloves, Hades Armor, Dark Armor, not Iron Shield. Iron Shield is very holy to me, and we buy a Lustrous Shield. Lustrous Shield will be used way later in the run, or the main purpose of it will be main later in the run. And then we will go here to the item shop right here and buy a couple of high potions. Oops, not 20, just 15 and 5 Phoenix Downs. Now, this shop, in PB attempts these days, I would probably skip it. because you can actually buy this stuff later on. But for safety's sake and for marathon purposes, I'm doing this menu a bit earlier, because it can kill the run if you don't do it in worst case scenario. Like if RNG really is not in your favor, like everything is just out for blood and like kills all your party members all the time. So it's good to do that shop during a marathon run, and yeah, save the time rather in a non-marathon setting, like when you're just streaming on your own. Because we can't have the run die during a marathon. That's forbidden. Do we have any donations?
I'm not seeing anything currently, but anyone who was listening would notice that I did point out that there was a file name and a costume incentive. There are a number of incentives that you can donate towards, so if you wanted to have a little bit of extra motivation to contribute to this amazing cause, you yourself can actually have a slight influence on how this marathon unfolds by donating to various incentives that we have throughout the entire event.
Okay, so we just reached the Mount of Ordeals, which we climbed upon to fight Scarmiglione. Spoiler alert. But we mainly actually go into this mountain to actually become a Paladin, where the probably most well-known subcategory for FF4 called Paladin % stems from. Pretty well-known category, despite it not being a full game run. Still a very well-known run. Don't know if you know anything about Paladin % Mitako, if you can talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so one of the things that we've got for the Final Fantasy runs are conventionally somewhere usually between, I don't know, 3.5 and 10 hours long, something along those lines. So quite a few of the Final Fantasy communities have got race categories, which typically only take between an hour and an hour and a half. So the race category that people most typically use, or even like as an entry point to getting into speedrunning Final Fantasy IV, would be Paladin %, and that'll culminates at the end of Mount Ordeals here. I think it is just under an hour. Pretty comparable, I think, in most versions of the game. I mean, I can say that there's a dual journey going on in this mountain right now. So we're here to become a paladin so that we're able to defeat Golbez, but also along our journey with Paladin Porum, we happen to meet Tala again, and he's on his own hero's journey to learn the forbidden spell Meteor, and he's going to try and use that to be able to defeat Golbez. I trust that for the upcoming fights you're going to be using carrots and trash cans, Harvey?
Say what?
So
what?
There's some really cool stuff you can do in the Super Nintendo version of this. So the fights coming, there are 2 fights coming up back to back, and they're called Mylon and Mylon Z in the Super Nintendo version. And the idea is that you can use inventory items in fights. So I could go into the item menu, use a potion, and heal my characters and things like that. But what you can also do is you can convince the game to use items that you typically can't. And in a Chocobo Forest, you can pick up an item called a carrot. And if you half use a usable item and then leave the cursor on an unusable item and do some shenanigans using Paladin Porum and the twin mechanic, then you're able to automatically queue up an item that you wouldn't normally do. So a carrot is what ends up getting thrown at Mylon. Now, I don't remember exactly what happens. Basically, carrots got the value of it's something like Fire 3 or Fire 20 or something like that. So it does that. And then for Mylon Z, we use a trash can, and the trash can has a value of Cure 8 or something like that. So it does tons of healing damage. So yeah, we throw carrots and trash cans in the Super Nintendo version of these guys.
That's ridiculous, but in a funny way. We actually have our own ways to deal with this. I actually want to do a quick save here, just in case I mess something up, menu-wise. Okay, so we give the important items auto potion and item lore to Palom, and then counter we give to Porum. Because the way how... wait, I didn't see if the HP is the same. It is, okay. Wait, actually, Dash, if you can take over, I actually have to concentrate on the fight right now. If you can take over how the arguments work and how this fight works, really quick.
I guess I can begin with the fight that we're gonna do right now. So very soon in this battle or early on, he will command his zombie legions to attack, which is really, really slow. So we managed to find a way to get around this issue by attacking the boss twice, which makes him counter, and we can charge up our attacks while he is countering. And while he is attacking, the timer of his minions are like stopped. So you can see he's queuing up a twin cast with Palom and Porum right now, as we make him counter us twice. And if we are lucky and do it correctly... Okay, we didn't get it. It's a bit RNG-wise and a bit skill.
It depends on Cecil's ATB, and we had some horrible ATB. Please don't kill Tella. Please don't kill Tella. Like, I don't care if you kill Cecil. Like, that's fine. Just don't kill Tella, please. Yes! Wait, does that kill? I don't remember. Sure.
Yeah, it should. No.
What's that? Okay, we should... No! This is why we get Phoenix Star! No! Come on!
That was quite unfortunate.
Okay. Oh, this fight, man! Oh, I'm getting gray hair because of this fight. I'm getting gray hair because of this fight. Oh my god.
Okay, are you gonna revive Cecil or just gonna go into the next one?
I'm just gonna go into the next fight. Cecil doesn't need the XP. I mean, of course, the chance of Tella getting killed again is 1 in 3 by now, but let's hope it doesn't happen. Just FYI, I had like several runs lately which got to this fight, and my latest run, which was yesterday, I was able to finish a 7-run streak where Scarmiglione chose Tella 7 times in a row as his attack target, which was 1 in 4, 7 times in a row. Oh my god, and here we go again. God damn it! Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. Come on! Dude, the entire thing starts again. Come on! Okay, Elixir, and he's gone. Ah, man, this fight. Ah, I hate this boss so much. I just lost an entire minute on those 2 boss fights. What is going on? It's not an 8 streak. The last run killed the 7 streak, so we're starting a new streak now. Oh my god. This boss, it really hates me. It really does. Okay, and now we're on to becoming a Paladin, and it's probably one of the hardest fights ever in the entire game, because, yeah, you will see in a second why it's the hardest fight ever. Okay. You can absolutely see it's the hardest fight ever. I don't even have to touch the controller, that's why it's so hard. If there are any donations, feel free to take it away.
Absolutely. We have $10 from Stu T saying, "Love watching Final Fantasy marathon runs. So cool to see so many at this year's event. Thank you for all that you do." And that went towards the Donut Drake skin choice for Uncharted Drake's Fortune Any Percent.
Stay hydrated, everyone.
And to touch on the incentives that I mentioned earlier, it is worth noting that the Crash the Coasters incentive for Roller Coaster Tycoon is currently at $475 out of its goal of $1,000. And we promise, if this goal is met, no humans will be harmed in the running of that game.
Okay, we finally became Paladin, and for whatever reason, which I still don't get why, someone explained it to me a while ago, but suddenly Taylor's like, oh, I remember all of them now. Oh, is it Meteor? He suddenly knows all the spells, and for the life of me, I do not remember why that happens. Metako, you probably know, if you can fill me in on it.
No, no. It's just literally, right, genuinely, right? On the Wikipedia article for plot of Final Fantasy IV, it just says Cecil becomes a paladin while Tala learns the secret of Meteor. I'm gonna Google this.
Okay, now we have to pray that we don't get an encounter, because as you just saw, I probably did something very weird to that you might have noticed. I casted Mini on myself. You will see in a second why I casted Mini on myself. Spoiler alert, it's the crazy trick, the crazy glitch I talked to you about earlier. It's probably the most insane trick in the entire run, and Square Enix, you're probably watching, or someone who's working at Square Enix, don't patch this glitch. Pretty please, don't patch this. It's one of the things that makes this run super fast and somewhat consistent at times. So do me a favor and do not patch this. There are a couple other things that would need that treatment, but please do not fix that glitch. It's one that we really need for the run, so yeah, please do not fix that glitch. Okay, so we will get like this amazing, not Star Wars kind of slide, but this kind of text slide going up where it says, by the light of darkness, yada yada yada. Completely forgot why this even happens. As I said, I haven't like checked out the story of FF4 like intricately in a long time, so I don't remember why we get this slide at all in the first place. But yeah, just get this slide and then we move on in the story of the game. We then have the honor to take Paladin Portum with us because the elder said you should actually stay in Mesidia. However, the twins decided, nah, we want to stay with Cecil. And so they will follow us as we go back to Baron via the Devil's Road. So the Devil's Road takes us back to Baron, not the castle, but the small village next to Baron Castle. And in the Baron village, we will find one of our missing teammates, or should I say, one of those teammates which has gone missing when Leviathan attacked. And that teammate which has gone missing was, or is, none other than Young. And so you might be able to take a quick look at your party members, or at the party members right now when we fight the guards. Just take a look at whoever gets attacked. So we do Faraga to one-shot them. Wait, I get healed by an attack? What? How? So, as a Twitch user told me once during a run like 2 years ago, the person goes by the name Flowvision, Phlowsion. He just came to she, sorry, don't know the pronouns, so they came to my chat one day and said, "Do you know the mini reverse glitch?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" They said, yeah. If you cast mini on your party, they get reversal. I was like, wait, there's no way. You gotta be baffling me, right? You gotta be joking. But he wasn't joking. It's the truth. Mini on your party causes reversal. Oh, that's... Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Oh, actually I did. Okay. Another fun fact about this Yang fight here. You only have to attack twice, every time he has like a battle text coming up. And as you saw, at the first attack missed, but it still continued with another battle text. It's actually funny because I had 2 runs this far, which had the fight going on with both attacks actually missing. But the game doesn't care if the attack connects or even if you do damage. The game just actually only checks if you actually do an attack input every time Yang has one of those text boxes. Even if you miss twice, the game just lets you continue. I think that's very funny. Like, he just goes, you missed twice. I'm gonna die anyway. It's kind of weird. Okay, so coming up, we have to buy 2 blue fangs in this shop right here. In a previous route iteration, we only bought 1 blue fang and got a red fang for completing maps. Yeah, you can actually complete the maps, the mini-maps in this game. And if you complete them, you actually get bonuses for doing that. And you will see that actually, right as you go through the sewers here, how this looks like. So yeah, we're gonna take the Baron Key, go to the top of the stairs and do some menuing. I wanna equip Cecil, Lustrous Shield, not Iron Shield, Lustrous Shield, Headband, Headband on him, Double Ice Claw. Change the party formation with Tella, and then Battle Speed Slow, and then we have another small walking section. And we immediately have an encounter. So yeah, that was our small preparation for the upcoming fights with Bygone and Goniatzo. A small little thing I wanted to mention for the reversal glitch. That reversal glitch only works for 1 fight and only for 1 fight. Meaning, once you have had it on a fight, like we had it on the fight with the guards, the fight after that with Yang, the reversal glitch was not persistent anymore. I.e., once you have 1 fight occur, the next fight, it will not, reversal will not be on there anymore unless you reapply mini. That's why I said when I left the Mount of Ordeals, even if I said it, I don't remember if I said it, but I hope that we don't get an encounter after teleporting out of Mount of Ordeals. And that was the reason why, because if we would have gotten an encounter when teleporting out of Mount of Ordeals between the Chocobo Forest, we would have had to reapply mini, and that just loses time and MP, and this just overall it's annoying. So yeah, we can be really happy that that didn't happen. Okay, so now going through the sewers, there is a chest down there in the middle, which has a Hermes Sentinels in it. We used to get that for hard mode. Don't think we still get it. I actually had to go for that chest yesterday because I accidentally sold the Hermes Sentinels in one of my menus. So it's a good backup chest just in case you mess up one of the menus. And yeah, we're almost at the end of the sewers. Now in this screen, you will see how it looks like when we complete one of the maps. Just go up here the staircase, and when we are past this encounter, there is a little sneaky path on the left side where we can get a chest with a ether inside. MP in this game is very crucial, and as you can see, we complete the map and we get a bonus with 3 remedies. Those 3 remedies are actually very useful in case the game likes to throw us very bad RNG between the legs, so we will gladly take those. And as I said, yeah, ethers, elixirs, and all that stuff, like MP in general in this run is a big theme, which we need a lot. So there are some fights, or should I say, a lot of fights where we don't use mini on our party because we have to use Osmos, or we just heal our party during it. Because if you use Osmos on your party, you actually lose MP instead of gain any. Okay, I'm about to come up to Bygone. If Bendesh wants to explain, feel free to take it away.
Yeah, so once again he uses Mini on everyone. This causes the reversal glitch, which means all damage you take will heal you, and all things that heal you will damage you. But since this only affects you and not the enemy will just continuously heal you and can't do anything to you while you just wail away at them, dealing lots of damage. For this specific battle, I think it's gonna have the twins cry and bluff to lower his defense and up your own damage output, and then do the twin cast attack. And that coupled with Tella using Blizzaga on him and maybe having Yang as backup will just obliterate him. So there is a certain amount of RNG here, because he has one attack to constrict, which he will use at some point. And if that hits like the twins and paralyzes one of them, that's really bad. So here we can already see you just get healed from all of his attacks. Like, this glitch just trivializes a lot of the game. You don't have to worry about defense at all. And routing some of these bosses was so much fun, because you just only concentrated about how fast can I like beat this guy.
Please.
You can just throw everything you have at them.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, that's
very
good.
nice.
Okay, that's actually very good. Because Cecil is really useless at this point. Whew. There we go. We got Comet, we got the attack in, and this should kill Bygone like that. Easy game every time.
Yeah, also since Cecil died during the two Scarmiglione fights, everyone else has more experience and levels, I think. So that's gonna help you.
Not really, because you're starting at level 1 anyway when you're Paladin.
Well, I mean like Palum, Porum, and Tella.
Oh yeah. But then comes Goniatzo, which is the more intricate fight of the two. Ether... she's good. Him... Remedy, actually. Right, I should have done... Wait, yeah. Never mind, I would have needed to do that anyway. Settings, yeah. We want to do the remedy first before mini, because if we do the remedy after we did mini, remedy actually heals the reversal status effect, which I think it's kind of weird, but yeah, it exists. So here is Goniatzo. If either Matako or Porum wants to take this, it's also one of the more intricate ones, and he starts with slow right away. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's really bad luck. This guy can use like slow and sleep. Those two things are like terrible if he puts people to sleep, or well, just this slow is, it makes you so slow. It's really bad. But we know how to somewhat recover from it, so should be fine. Should just be taking maybe like 30 seconds more, but there's not much we can do about it.
And he starts with this.
Alright, if you don't mind, I'm just going to go ahead and fit in a dono real quick.
Yes, you can, definitely.
We have $99 from Psychonauter saying,
Ooh.
May the power of the crystals be with you. And the Spoony Bard.
Hey, Psy, thank you very much.
So the premise of the fight now is basically we just want to buff Yang, try and get as much DPS in with Tell, and then just do some massive hits with Yang, and we want Palom and Porum dead before the end of the fight.
Please, no water. Okay, withdrawing into his shell is actually good.
Okay, so just to reiterate the reverse glitch, the reason why we get healed by all of his attacks is because of a weird glitch where if you cast Mini on your party, it also activates Reversal, which reverse all damage. All damage will heal you, and all healing items will damage you. So it seems like it's like a debug feature that the developers forgot to remove. It's really strange, it's really easy to set up and really practical. So every time you cast Mini on your party, we essentially become like invincible.
We kill Paladin Forum because they eat our EXP, since they will leave us after Goniatzo anyway. We kill them, so Hyung, Tella, and Cecil will get EXP instead. Pretty good fight, except the slow at the very start. Wait, did I use Blizzaga twice? As I said, my short-term memory is really bad, so... Did I use Blizzaga twice?
I don't remember. I can check.
Like, I seem to have skipped the second Blizzaga, or did I? As I said, short-term memory for me is really bad. So I could have forgotten easily. So in case you see my cursor, for those people who just joined, sorry about that, but that's actually the fastest way we can skip the cutscenes, because I know approximately where the skip cutscene button is popping up, and with mouse it's actually the fastest way to skip the cutscenes.
Okay, I can confirm you did use the second Blizzaga.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I was about to say, like, wait, we can skip the second Blizzaga? Okay. Okay, now we're back into some story stuff, where we get the airship for the first time, and now we can travel around the map 1 hour and 15 minutes into the run, or into the game, which is kind of crazy. In a lot of games, it takes like way longer until you get access to the entire world map, but in this game, it takes less than 1.5 hours, which is crazy. Okay. And now we will get to see our good friend Kane again, who will say, yeah, you have to give us the Earth Crystal from the Troya region. Yeah. And before we go to Troya, though, we want to go to Mesidia, because as I mentioned a bit ago, despite the twins not only being good for damage dealing, they're also really good for giving us augments. And when we speak to the Elder, we actually get a bunch of these augments. And because we gave a total of 3 augments to both of the twins, we will actually get both Twin Cast, Cry, Bluff, etc, etc. Let me do a menu really quick. We gotta do... Oh wait, not Twin Cast, we gotta go Cry, Cecil. He learns that ability, and then Dual Cast on Tella. Dual Cast is a extremely powerful augment. Equip Iron Shield, and then we do Battle Speed Slow. It's extremely powerful when we do it on Tella. And yeah, now we're on our way to Troya, where we find another one of our allies, which we have, which has been missing ever since Leviathan has attacked our boat around 20 to 30 minutes ago. So it's a bunch of walking again, so you only kit. If you have any more donations, then take it away.
I'll just remind everyone real quick that Save the Children focuses on the most vulnerable children, including girls who are forced into early marriage, young boys and girls who are forced into dangerous working conditions, or children at risk of recruitment into armed groups. When children experience trauma, Save the Children works to ensure they receive the care, rehabilitation, and psychosocial support they need to be children again.
Okay, so we finally meet Edward, and as we can see, he's not in a good shape. Not at all. He's in a hospital bed. Really in a not good case. Oops, we didn't want to talk to him again. And yeah, after we talk to Edward, he will give us Whisper Grass, I think it's called. I haven't looked at the name of the item in a long time, but I think it's called Whisper Grass. And with that, he can communicate with us over far distance, just kind of like cell phones, but back in the medieval times. And now we go to the Chocobo Forest to move on in the game, and we take this Chocobo to fly over to the Lodestone Cave, where our next crystal will await us at the end of the dungeon. Okay, so you might have seen we equipped the Iron Shield on Sid, but that has a very specific reason. This is the Lodestone Cave, or as I like to call it, the Game Over Cave, where actually taking a game over is faster than fleeing from random encounters. So, yeah, welcome to the Game Over Cave, everyone. We actually take the game overs much rather than fleeing from the battle. It's much faster, and we don't have to do anything with like healing or anything. So yeah, that's a weird thing that Quas figured out, the current world record holder. He figured out that, yeah, actually getting a game over here is faster overall than like fleeing from the enemies. And I'm getting a lot of encounters here, damn. Okay, so since we're going through this place, let me talk about the upcoming fight, Dark Elf, and why why the Iron Shield is so important. So, Dark Elf is having a spell up while we're in the Lodestone Cave, which causes all magnetic things, like in this case Iron Shield, to be like heavy, and it causes my entire party to be paralyzed. Do I have to go through here? No, I don't. It causes the entire party to be paralyzed, and due to that, if the entire party is paralyzed, we kind of trigger a game over since we can't get out of that situation. And we actually use that at the very start of fighting Dark Elf. Because Dark Elf, the very first time you actually fight, or try to fight Dark Elf, it actually kills you. Because you cannot win against Dark Elf as much as you try. So the first time you actually fight Dark Elf, you're just going to use the entire paralyzed thingy that the game has, and basically skip the entire first phase of Dark Elf. Then the second time we attack or try to attack Dark Elf, we will see a little cutscene of Edward going to his harp and starting to play this small little melody that you probably have heard before, especially when he was talking to Enna, to the ghost of Enna, during that night when he was playing his harp. So he will play that, and this will obstruct. I forgot the English verb for it, but it makes a Dark Elf to not keep up his spell for all iron shields and stuff, for it being to be magnetic. So, and then we can fight him just like that. So yeah, Dark Elf is about to come up. Another fight which does take quite a bit of concentration. So yeah, maybe Matako, if you have inputs of how different it is from the SNES version.
Yeah, I can do that. So, in the original, it's called Magnet Cave. It's effectively the same idea, where if you wear anything that's metal, you get restricted by it. In the Super Nintendo version, if you get into a fight with it and die, you just die. There's no quick save and loading in the middle of the dungeon. So, we don't equip anything metal until the Dark Elf fight itself, and we put iron gauntlets on Sid for that. You can have, as far as, if I'm not mistaken, you can have like metal equipment on in normal fights, and you can escape from them without dying, but you can't take actions. It's something like that. So I have accidentally put on the menu before Dark Elf too early, and then I was like, well, this is interesting, and I've died to it before, and it's been fine. And at other times. But yeah, you typically just want to go through Magnet Cave normally until you get to Dark Elf, and it's such a cool thing that like it's got like the 2 fights back to back, and you go to the first one and you automatically die, and then it's like this fake out game over thing when Edward does his harp music to them bringing in Dispel, the Dark Elf power. For the Dark Elf fight itself, I don't know how much like speed manipulation happens in the PC version, but the Dark Elf does have 2 phases, and one of the things that's really important, at least in the Super Nintendo version, is to get enough damage in time to trigger the second phase before the fight starts to go south. So,
okay, gotta close the game. That's painful. Oh my god, no. Okay, so what just happened there is, at the start of the Dark Elf fight, you want to double silence Dark Elf, so Dark Elf won't spam yourself full with Fire Off, Fandara, etc., etc. And it deals a ton of damage, and to do that, we do double silence. However, it has a very, very high chance to miss. But since it's a strat that we need in a run, we really do want to do one hit to hit at the very start of the fight. And yeah, let's hope this works. Yeah, change the equipment. Yeah, should be good to go. Let's do this again and hope that double silence hits this time. Okay, double silence. Please make me proud. Make me proud, Tella. Make me proud. Yes! Got him! Finally. Okay, we got silence, so we should be good. Sid, by the way, is useless. Whenever I can, I use Cecil to get rid of him. He just basically is like a sponge when it comes to EXP. He's not really useful at all. There we go. We covered Tella for the second part, when Dark Elf turns into Dark Dragon. Okay, Cecil kills Sid. Okay, he's gone. Oh, I should actually cast something. Single Faraga, and then one more attack. Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Yes, okay, that's good. That's very good. So, what happens is, during the Dark Elf fight, Dark Elf uses Hex at least once, before we transition into the Dark Dragon fight. Faraga and then Osmos. And in the meantime, since it hexes once, it can hex any of the 3 party members, Tella, Young, or Cecil. Cecil can be hit with Hex, and then he would turn into a pig. However, you can just use a remedy to help with this. Let's not miss Young, please. Okay, there we go. Young could miss this attack, and then the entire fight would be screwed up if that happens. Okay, Cecil survived, that's really good, and we should be good to go. Double Faraga, which then should kill the Dark Dragon. And there we go. That's Dark Elf for you. It is very important that Cecil stays alive in this fight, because if he doesn't get the level up, then strats later in the run will not work. And I experienced that recently, and I figured that, or should I say, I figured that out recently, because I didn't know if actually Cecil needs to stay alive or not, and the answer is yes, he does. He does need to stay alive, because if he doesn't, then stuff will happen that should not happen. Okay, we changed the battle speed, healed our party, teleported out of the Lodestone Cave, and we're now flying back to the Chocobo Forest. So, since we can't really go to an inn before our next part of the run, we actually have to manually cure our party and go to this other Chocobo up here, which then gives us back the MP, and then we take the yellow Chocobo and walk back to Troya Castle. Okay. There's another walking section coming up. You only get to have anything. Take it away.
Yeah, I guess it's worth mentioning that there has been developed a new Dark Elf strat by myself, and it is slightly faster, but we haven't worked out all of the kinks to it yet, so we decided not to go for it in this run. Yeah. Instead of using silence twice and hope that at least one of them hit, you just start attacking him instantly, and you push him to the second phase of the battle before he has time to cast more than 2 spells on your party. And if you pull it off correctly, then you just beat him really fast without losing anyone. But there is a high chance that one of your characters will die, and if that happens, either you get screwed on later on, or you die because you have to heal them right there and then.
Okay, so after story advancing in Troya Castle, we go to this little side place right here. We take a couple staircases down, go through a couple doors, and talk to this woman right here, who will lead us to a secret passage, where we will have a couple of chests with a ton of good stuff in it. And as you can see right here, full with chests. However, we're not taking every single chest. There are a lot of good stuff in it, where there are some chests which we don't pick up because they're useless to us. I didn't need that silver apple, I accidentally picked that up, but here's a 50k gil chest and a 5k gil chest. This amount of gil should be more than enough for the rest of the run. But for safety's sake, I will, later in the run, pick up another 5k gil that we can get. So, with our party, or should I say with our inventory stacked up to the brim with good items, we will now leave Troya Castle and talk to Kane. To trigger Kane, we actually just go onto the airship, and then he will suddenly just pop up out of nowhere. And be like, hey, did you get the crystal? And we say, yeah, we did. And then he will lead us to the Tower of Zod, where we will where we will find Rosa, one of the last missing party members. What's the strat for the upcoming Magus Sisters in SNES? Do you remember that? Do you recall that fight in SNES, Mitako?
Yeah, we do some really cool stuff. So in the Super Nintendo version, you can do an MP underflow glitch with Tella. So the idea is that you run his MP dry until he can no longer use the spell Cure 4, and then you can also rearrange your spells in a different order. So you select Cure 4, and then you press down and confirm on the same frame, and that then allows you to glitch underflow the MP, and then you just use Meteor. So even the premise is that even though that Tella relearns Meteor and Mount Ordeals, he doesn't have enough MP to be able to cast it. So by using that, we abuse that for a number of fights, and that's how we take down the Magus Sisters.
Very interesting indeed. We don't have an underflow glitch for the Magus Sisters. Magus Sisters is actually one of those fights where we can't use the mini glitch just like we did on the Dark Elf, because as mentioned earlier, when we do Osmos, which heals our MP when we absorb MP from the enemy, whenever we heal ourselves, even if it's MP, the game actually thinks that because we have reversal on, we actually damage ourselves in MP. So when we do Osmos and we get the MP back, or we absorb the MP from our enemy, it's not that the enemy loses MP and that we gain MP when we're reversed, but both of us actually lose MP. But funnily enough, if it's the other way around, if the enemy uses Osmos on your party and you're reversed, meaning they will quote-unquote take away MP from you, you will actually gain MP. which is something that Zemus can do. I don't know if it will happen this run. Hopefully it will, because that means the strat will probably work. Because Zemus can use Osmos on your party, and it's just so funny to see when you're like your entire MP pool is just regenerated, even though your enemy just used Osmos on your entire party. I think it's kind of funny. Okay, so we're going through the rest of Tower of Zod before we get to Magus Sisters. So Magus Sisters themselves are fought without mini, as mentioned earlier, but instead we just use a bunch of tricks, and we will see double silence yet again, and we hope we can get it first try this time. Because it would be bad if we wouldn't get it first try this time. Okay, let's hope. So there's Sandy, Cindy, and Mindy. I don't know if that was the correct order of them, but Mindy is the one on the right, and I don't remember which one's Cindy and which one's Sandy. I think Sandy is the one on the right, and Cindy is the one in the middle. So what we gotta do is, of course, cry first of all, then focus, then dual cast, silence. Oops, wrong one. The middle sister. Not the middle sister, because the middle sister is getting reflected. So we defense down our enemy, then double silence on Sandy, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's Sandy, right? Come on, don't give me deja vu. Don't give me a deja vu. Oh my god! This game! Pain. This game. That's how I can sum it up. There we go. Fast battle speed and back into the fight, and hopefully it will work this time. Oh boy.
If you don't mind, I'm just going to take a moment to thank everyone who's been donating. We've raised over $400 in the last 2 hours alone, but this is going to be the end of my shift. I'm going to be passing it off to Arg here in a bit, so thanks for having me. I've been the only kid. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Thank you, the only kid, for being here, and have a good night. There we go, first try. First try. Okay, no effect. So, how Magus Sisters work, they cast, or Sandy casts Reflect on Cindy, and Mindy casts Fyra on her. Okay, casts... there we go. Mindy casts Fyra on... Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this game. So yeah, they cast Fyra, Thundara, Blazara on Cindy, and that will be reflected onto my party. However, you can't like guess which one it hits because it's random. It's really annoying, and Cindy can regularly just do normal attacks on you, which is super annoying and can deal and just mess up the entire fight and lose you a ton of time. This is another one of those very RNG heavy fights that can go south really quick if it wants to. Oh, I haven't. Oh shoot, I haven't cried yet. It would be pretty good if it would do. If it would do that. Wait, what? Okay, no effect. But it didn't show me that I had. I don't have Cry on. Why? I'm confused. I am very confused.
Well, you probably have it applied, but I don't know why it's not showing.
Okay, I've never seen that before. Typical marathon run. Always something that you never see before happens in a marathon run. There we go. Like when you attack them, it shows the status that they have Cry on, but if you do something else, it doesn't.
Maybe it's because you're multi-target. I don't know.
Maybe. All I can say is that's whack. Da-da-da-da. Okay, so we did the attack on Cindy in the middle there. And then dual cast again Faraga to deal a lot more damage yet again. The good thing is about Young and Tella both being in crit now is that whenever either of them get physically attacked, Cecil's, I don't know, special ability? I think you could call it that, comes into place. Where whenever one of your characters in your team is in critical HP, which you can see if their HP is in yellow, if that's the case, then Cecil will automatically protect them if they get attacked physically. So if Cindy, yeah, as you can see, Cindy attacks, and Cecil will be there defending the attack from Kane, despite not even covering Yang in the first place. Okay, we have a lot more text boxes happening. Please don't die. Oh my god. Okay, we lose even more time now because Minnie decided to do one more of those attacks, which means we will see those disappearing animations not once but twice, actually. Because with the strat that we have in mind, we would kill all three of them at the same time. But because Minnie thought, hey, let's do another one of those casts, they killed Cindy. Sorry, they killed Cindy a bit early, which cost us a bunch of time watching this animation twice. And that's Magus Sisters for you. And yeah, as you can see, Sid is enjoying the sun. It's just lying there, not doing anything. If that's where we want him. He's honestly useless. Okay, now we get Ether on Cecil and Ether him once. We potion Cecil twice. No, wait. High potion, actually. There we go. High potion Cecil so he has full HP. Go to Tella and use Mini and Toad. There we go. And then we will... Wait, actually... Oh, wait. Never mind. Then we will start this cutscene right here. And this is around 1.5 minutes of just doing nothing. So I will take this time to go to the bathroom for just a teeny tiny moment. So if you excuse me.
I guess I can comment on the fact that maybe you noticed that he also used Toad on his party after he used Mini. So as you know, Mini causes reversal, which makes the bosses heal you. But Toad, it has a similar effect where it casts Faith on your party, which boosts magic attacks. It doesn't boost it by a lot, it's like 10%. It's not fixed, it's weird. It's a lot worse than it should be, in theory. But it boosts our magic attacks, so we deal more damage and more chance to kill the enemies faster later on. So for some fights, we will also cast Toad, as well as Mini. And also, about augments, we also touched upon this earlier. It's a unique thing in the 3D remake. When people from your party leaves and you... Yeah, shortly after that usually, and you meet them again or something like that, you will get their augments. So, like Palom and Porum, the more augments you give them, the more you get back. So since we gave them 3 augments in total, we got 5 augments back from them. And Edward, we didn't have anything to give him, so we only got 1 augment back from him. So now Tella is gonna leave our party, and we're gonna get 2 augments from him. Although we're not gonna use them, we're just gonna give them to someone else to gain their augments back later on.
Oh no. How much did I lose?
Only about like 1 or 2 seconds.
Yeah, you were fine.
Oops, losing time. Whatever. Oh! There we go. Huh. There we go. Okay, so Tella left us. But she also left us a couple of good arguments that we will pick up. Sorry about that. About the 10-second time loss there, but it's whatever.
It was like 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 seconds, okay.
Yeah, it was practically nothing.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah. There is another BRB coming up in around an hour-ish, I would say, when we fight Rubicon. Spoiler alert. But yeah, we retrieve Rosa. We get her back right before bad stuff happens. And not only Rosa will join our party, but Kane will too. And there is actually a boss fight coming up. But before we do that boss fight, we actually are going to do a couple of things in a menu really quick. Okay. Go inventory, and we get... No, not bluff. That's a little early. Twin casts to Cecil and Rosa. There we go. And we give recall and last stand to Sid, because Sid will give us a very good ability when we give him just 2 random abilities that we can give him. Equipment abilities, yeah. We give items Blue Fang, which we bought earlier. We give... Oh, absolutely. Go back and do Twin Cast. We give him Defend. We give also Blue Fang. And we give her Twin Cast, and we give her Slow as Auto Battle. Just to check. Yeah, fast, everything, and we should be good to go. Okay, Barbarizia. Another annoying fight, or what could be an annoying fight if RNG doesn't want to work in our favor. So, how Barbarizia works is Barbarizia likes to turn into a tornado, and in her tornado form, she can use stuff like lightning and maelstrom, and they can be very bad for what we are about to do. We are about to do Twin Cast, and Twin Cast needs both characters to be in the same HP and MP percent. One sec. The same MP and HP percent to work 100%. I didn't want to defend, actually. I wanted to kill Sid. It's whatever. Okay. So the fence is down. We wait for Kane to jump. We do this. Twin cast 100. I really hope I don't get attacked in the meantime. That'd be pretty bad if it would happen. If it would happen, I would have to probably reset once more, and I really hope it doesn't happen. Please don't attack. Please, for the love of God. There we go. Okay. Ultima, which deals way too much damage. Way more damage than it actually should. Okay, 8k damage. That's pretty good. Then she does Maelstrom. Then we attack once with Young, and fight should be over. Easy.
That is so different from the Nintendo fight. That is awesome.
This is an awesome strat, but yeah, we always have to worry about Maelstrom not keeping HP at the same place for Rosa and Cecil. Same goes for Lightning, and if Barbarizia decides to attack Cecil or Rosa, it could also change the HP percent quite a lot, which could mess up the entire Ultima cast. And what has happened also before is that Yang can miss, and that loses a bunch of time. So yeah, you teased something about it's completely different than the SNES version, so I'm kind of interested to know what the SNES version does.
So the mechanic around it's called Valvalis in the original, but the mechanic behind it is basically she turns into a tornado, and the only way to stop her from being a tornado is to jump with Kane, which is exactly what Harvey did at the start of the fight. And then once the lance lands, then she stops the tornado, and then after a certain amount of turns, she will tornado again. So Harvey's able basically just a one-rounder, but in the Super Nintendo version, you're relying on turn order and speed of your characters and knowing exactly who's going to go when, so that you're constantly getting your rounds of attacks off when she's not in a tornado, because when you attack her when she's a tornado, she'll counter attack and your attacks will do a lot less damage. So in the Super Nintendo version, it's a considerably longer fight. In my opinion, it's one of the hardest in the run, and then also depending on when you get Kane back, if he's level 18 or 19, that will affect like what you do. So there's a huge amount of like speed related tech that goes into the fights in the Super Nintendo version.
It's RNG if he comes back level 19 or 18?
Well, it's based on the levels that you've had from your team earlier in the run. So the idea would be like, so for example, in the Mom Bomb fight, if Edward and Rydia die, that will affect the team's like cumulative experience, and that will affect what level Kane comes back in at this point when he rejoins the party. So there's quite a lot of specific like who's alive and who's not alive at the end of fights. So like we kill off Sid quite a lot. As well on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, he's kind of useless.
Yeah, and there's like one where like we've the option to take out Yang, and like depending on how things have gone. So yeah, you track experience quite a lot. But this strat's way better. I like like dual cast Ultima is phenomenal.
Shoutouts to Quaz for another one of those strats in the hard mode strat on the DS. Since Ultima is pretty weak on hard mode, actually, sadly. But Quaz came up with the idea to to twin cast Ultima. And I was like, yeah, you only have to attack once. In hard mode, what we actually do, we get the extra Hermes sandals from the sewers that I talked about earlier. And we give that to Yang and just focus as fast as possible. And just try to deal as much damage as possible with just triple focus and attack, and just hope attacks don't miss. It's kind of crazy how the route has changed since Quaz and Dej entered the community with their strats and stuff. Like, as I'm always saying, 4, or in this case 6 eyes see more or no more than 2. Okay, we now just entered the Underworld and we got some pretty bad RNG. Okay,
so the premise here is that we were supposed to trade the crystal for Rose's life when we went to the Tower of Zot. We got up to the top there, and then whenever Talus sacrifices himself using Meteor, he weakens Golbez, and then we find out that Kane was actually mind controlled by Golbez. So we get Kane back because the mind control gets dismissed then. So now in the game, Kane basically tells us that there are a set of not only normal crystals, but dark crystals, so light and dark crystals. So the reason why we're going into the Underworld is to try and stop Golbez from getting to the moon. And we're going to try and head him off and get the dark crystals before Golbez does.
To the moon! Wait, that's 2 hours early. Wait, no, 1 hour early, not 2 hours.
It's all good. So yeah, we're now with the dwarves, and the dwarves are fighting the Red Wings. So we're gonna team up with them slightly.
Okay, so and because we talked to the dwarves about their crystal being at stake, we went to their crystal chamber and see that there are a couple of puppets. Yeah, I don't know why, but puppets. Anyone? Like, can someone explain to me how, why, and when these puppets got in here? Like, I have no idea. I just know puppets, and they're helping Golbez.
Yeah, I think it's a great defense mechanism.
Yeah.
I'd be terrified. I mean, people are scared of like, puppets and clowns and stuff like that.
Okay, Rosa had faster ATB, which is kind of bad, but that's whatever. So, the strat here is to use Auto Battle to cast both Blue Fangs, because if you do it manually, you're 99% too slow. There are very few exceptions where you can outspeed them, but it happens so rarely that it's way better to just do Auto Battle. And since we need the Auto Battle slow on Rosa later on, this is the perfect time to do it. But sadly, if she outspeeds Young, or she has better ATB than Young, then she outspeeds Young and we just get a slow that is useless. Oh, here comes the Golbez fight. Also, courtesy to Cloudspalm for changing this strat. This strat is super cool in my opinion, and I will show you in a second. Okay. Twin cast, wait until like half, and then jump. you can actually get an Ultima cast out before he does Binding Cold. I don't know why, I just think that's such a cool thing. Ooh, bad damage roll though. Ooh, that's a bad damage roll. Okay, we dealt 6k total. Math, 6k total, minus, or 9 quad 9 minus 6k is 3.99. So we need Ridia's Dragon to deal like 3.7, so we can kill Golbez with just one single Chocobo cast.
Well, you can use Bio, can't you, for more damage?
Can we?
Yeah.
Isn't Bio slower to cast though?
Yeah, but if it kills, it's stronger, I think.
I don't know actually. As you can see, due to Binding Cold, everyone's about to die. And because Kane jumped up, we were able to postpone the Binding Cold. Because the Golbez is scripted to only use Binding Cold as long as all characters are around. Okay, how much damage does the dragon do? Make me proud. Ooh, that's very bad. Okay, I'll listen to your idea and do Bio. I've never done Bio before, so new strat during a marathon, I guess. So yeah, let's try Bio. I've never done Bio before. I usually do Chocobo summon, because Chocobo is usually enough to kill Golbez. But since he has like 700 HP more, Chocobo can't kill, because Chocobo has like 300. Unless I'm going for the YOLO Ifrit summon, but nah, I'm not doing that. Okay, let's hope that it is doing enough damage. Wow, okay, it actually was. Let's go.
Let's go.
That's good. Let's go. I never did this before, so thank you for this quick input. I actually did not know.
This is the kind of cutting-edge speedrun technology you only find here at ESA.
Yeah, you figure it out during the marathon. Like, I have 400 hours in this game, and that's something I did not think about if I would under damage. And yeah, we got Ridia back, and she's all grown up now, and you're like, what? She was like the tiny girl when we found her. Like an hour and 30 minutes ago, right? Now, the thing is, she was in a place called Feymarch, and in that place, wait, I don't know if I'm saying something wrong here, but I thought it was Feymarch where the time passes faster, or if it was inside Leviathan. I don't remember exactly, but in either of those places, time moves on way faster. It's like the opposite of the time chamber in Dragon Ball Z, where time goes on faster, and she's become an adult in the meantime, and she learned how to summon. Here we're gonna stop up a little bit on high potions, just a teeny tiny bit. Stock up on remedies, and Phoenix Dance for the rest of the run. And for extra gale, we take this 5k in the corner here, which you can't see, but you can get anyway. So, after stocking up our inventory with more items, we will now go to the very right side of the tower, or of the castle, and go to the castle tower. There we go. And in that tower there are 2 items which are very good to grab, which are going to be used for the run. That chest, which you can see right there, was a Dwarven axe, but the Dwarven axe is not really useful for us, that's why we're not grabbing it. The chest that we're gonna need is this one, which is a power armlet, and the one below here, which is a elixir. We'll now go back downstairs, and we'll take the secret passageway to the next place where you have to go story-wise. So how do you deal with Golbez in the SNES version? Since that was way different.
So the fight that just goes there, if we are lucky and we've got level 19 Yang, we can get... no, not level 19 Yang, you have level 19 Kane. We can get him to jump. at the start. And then we also have like duplication we can do. So we have extra fire swords and things like that. So if we get the jump with Kane, then he doesn't get killed by the attack from the dragon. So everyone else does. Cecil stays alive. You queue up one attack with Cecil, one attack with Kane, and hopefully you skip Rydia coming in, because Kane will land before Rydia's like cutscene queues up. If that doesn't happen, then you basically pray that you do enough damage with Rydia and Cecil to be able to beat Golbez. It can be quite scary because it does a lot. It does like 300 damage, and then he also can put you into. It's basically like the effect of bio, where your health is always running down. So it's kind of a DPS race. If you keep healing, you can win that way and just attack with Cecil, but it just gets so scary. So best case scenario, you have a fast Kane. Worst case scenario, you hit and hope.
So Metaku mentioned something earlier about duping. We don't have any of those fancy glitches in this version. So if you're interested in glitch hunting a game which hasn't been really glitch hunted before, then feel free to glitch hunt this game, because we have done almost no research. So if you want to contribute something to the speedrunning, to the speedrun of this version of Ever 4, you can start glitch hunting. We have done next to nothing for glitch hunting in this version. As we mentioned earlier, same with looking into the code, how encounters work. We have no idea how this works. There are way better people out there who are way more knowledgeable in that kind of field than we are. So if you want to contribute something to the speedrun and you want to start learning a run and start glitch hunting, feel free. We would love to have some support. Since this run was severely underplayed, or should I say underrun, because not that many people play it. The only active person running this right now is me and Bendesh at times, but he's mainly routing because he's currently working on the all bosses route, which is also something that both of us have been working on, but mainly him. So all bosses, something maybe Dash, you want to get into that maybe?
Yeah, sure. So me and Harvey, we've always wanted to try it out, like a run where you beat all the bosses in the game. Because in this speedrun, we're gonna skip all of the optional bosses, and there are like some bosses like the puppets that have like a second form that we just skip. So we thought it would be cool to have a run where you get through all of them. And to do that, you actually have to beat the game almost twice, because the two super bosses can only be fought in New Game Plus. And it was a lot to route. Like, we had to RNG manipulate a 0.4% item drop, and we have to do that like 3 times. And I finally found them, so with that we could actually continue to route the game. And we're actually nearing completion of like routing. It's just we need to make sure that our XP management, experience management, is fine. Because if it desyncs, then the manips won't work. And we really need manips for the 0.4% item drops. So we've got to work out some of the last few details there. And then maybe sometime in the hopefully near future, we may get the first Final Fantasy IV all bosses run out to the public. That would be really, really sweet to see.
Yeah, Dash has been working literally so many hours on those RNG manips.
Yeah.
What was your longest RNG manip that you were looking for again?
Yeah, there's an item called Rainbow Pudding. I did find one manip for it, but unfortunately it's kind of slow, so I've tried to find an even faster one. And I've spent more than 8 hours just straight brute forcing the RNG, trying different battles over and over again, hoping to get the drop. But no luck so far, even after 8 hours of continuously looking for it. So I'm kind of burnt out on that right now. but maybe sometime I'll get back to it.
Yeah, understandable. I don't think I would have the patience to do this for 8 hours. Like, a huge shoutouts to Dash for, like, literally doing all that work for a potential route for all bosses. Absolutely amazing on his part. And in the meantime, as we're talking about the all bosses run, we're currently moving through the Tower of Babel, where we have to fight our next boss, who's called Lugar. And that guy it can be quite a nuisance. Another one of those. Yeah, we are right before Lugar right now, so what we're gonna do here, we want to full heal Cecil Rosa, very important. Want to adjust. Full heal, perfect. And now battle speed fast. And let's go with the fight. So, Lugar talks to Rubicon, one of the 4 archfiends. And, yeah, he's now aiding Golbez, and we found him that he is doing very bad stuff, and we want to halt him from doing the bad stuff. And he's fighting us, not alone, but he has a very good friend called Barnabas. Also one of those bosses that can have an optional boss at the end of it. Rosa? I can't twin cast. Okay. There we go. Wow, that... Oh my god, that was a very early attack. Oh boy. I hope this shot works now, because he attacked very early. Really hope this shot works now. In worst case scenario, this strat will not work. Oh god. Yeah. Oh my god, not again. Okay, this hasn't happened to me in, like, at least 300 hours of playing this game. And I hoped I got all the bad RNG yesterday, and now it's all coming back at me. Of course. It has to happen during a run, doesn't it? Or during a marathon run, doesn't it? So yeah, the strat is to do Ultima casts, but because for some reason Radios MP wasn't good enough, or no, ATP was not good enough, I couldn't do what I wanted to do and had to redo everything. Okay, so redo this fight once more, and let's hope it works this time. So it's basically just Ultima to at least get rid of the Doctor, and then Ramu to get rid of Barnabas himself. Okay, let's see here. Twin cast, there we go. So how does this work in this NES version, Metago?
So the fight's pretty straightforward. So it's kind of the same idea. Instead of the twin cast, we just attack with our party members, and we use the Titan summon with Riddy instead. But yeah, so because we've got some of the better equipment and stuff like that, and we've got a fire sword on Cecil and Kane, we just basically wail on Dr. Lugar and Barnab. It's Balnab in the original one, but yeah, it's not too bad a fight. And then for phase 2, exact same kind of idea. We just wallop him.
So I saw someone mention in chat, why don't you just use Mini? We would, but we don't have Mini. We literally don't have Mini. Because the only reason we were able to cast Mini earlier was because we had Tella in our party who can cast Mini. However, right now we don't have a single person in the party who can cast Mini, so if we want to cast Mini, we would, but we can't. Okay, now comes the everyone's most hated phase of Lugar. So there's a 50-50 chance that after Lugar casts his opening reversal cast, that he will cast Reversal Gas again. It's either Reversal Gas again or Restore, and we hope for Restore. Yes, perfect. Okay, at least that. So if he does Reversal Gas again, then we will not take damage from Restore, but he will then use a Flamethrower instead. We first cast Elixir with Cecil, because if we cast Elixir the second time with Cecil, Lugar would then automatically start targeting Cecil with his Sleeping Gas and putting him to sleep. If I would not have equipped Lustrous Shield, but luckily I did, meaning sleep has no effect. And that's Lugar. This has been quite the reset heavy point for a lot of runners, because they've had the very bad RNG that he would just use Reversal Gas over and over again, like just always back to back, and then always losing that time. Okay, so we're now going back from where we came from the start. We sadly cannot teleport out. Well, we actually could, but we have to like stop halfway through to actually defeat a bunch of dwarves. Not friendly dwarves, but actually enemy dwarves who are... I think they're controlling some kind of cannon. I forgot the plot behind it. But I think they have like some kind of cannon that would destroy the entire Dwarven castle, I think. And Young will sacrifice himself, spoiler alert, to destroy that cannon, so the cannon will not shoot onto the Dwarven castle. But before Young will sacrifice himself, we actually have to fight those dwarves ourselves. So we go to battle speed fast. Let's see about HP. He should be good, whatever. Go into... Wow! Good RNG. And I hope I got rid of the bad RNG like yesterday, when I did my yesterday's run. Seems like I was wrong. Yeah, so there's this little cutscene of the dwarves handling the cannons. And we're now going into a fight. And very easy fight, actually, here. We just summon Dragon, and we're good. And boom. There we go. That's the Dwarven fight. So, also, I forgot to say hello, Argic. I think you have joined us in the meantime.
Hello, yes, I've been sitting here for a while enjoying your run, mate.
Yeah, I completely forgot. Like, yeah, you actually... Oh, man. I can't speak at many at the same time. I'm very bad when it comes to that. But yeah, you changed seats. So yeah, welcome, Argic. You can take it away if you want to, because we have a bunch
thank
of
you.
We
have a few donations for you. We have a $5 donation from Lambda217 with a smiley face. And we also have $5 from our previous host, The Only Kid, who says every little bit helps. We can all play a part to help save the children. Also, let's crash some coasters. And that means that donation is, of course, going towards the Roller Coaster Tycoon all base scenarios to crash those roller coasters. We need $1,000 in total to get that, and it is currently sitting at $475 out of 1,000. So if you want to see some fun with some roller coasters, please do keep your donations coming in. And we've got one other one here as well. We have a $10 donation from our very own Edeno, who says, "Yo, Blue Harvey, 1 HP is always enough. But
thank you, yeah.
Did you know Chuck Norris doesn't read books? He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. Donating towards the Wind Waker incentive to name Link Chuck." So do we want Chuck Norris to be going through Wind Waker here? That is currently sitting there as a new name, as we do have TaskBot sitting at $96.78 and Sheikah at $35. But Chuck Norris is coming in at 10. Remember, folks, all your donations are going to Save the Children. Do please keep them coming in throughout this wonderful Final Fantasy run.
Thank you very much, Arkic. And thank you very much, Edenol, for the donation and for the for everything, for having me part of the marathon. It means a lot to me, and means a lot to be able to be in the marathon as well. Absolutely amazing people here. Just like a quick shout out from me to the ESA crew. Absolutely amazing people. Lovely, lovely people. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, we just went out the Tower of Babel, and what just happened, we skipped a cutscene where Sid threw himself over the airship, and then with a grenade in his hand, jumped over to the Red Wings, to the enemy's airship, and he exploded, or should I say, the grenade exploded in his hand, in midair, several hundred meters above ground, next to an enemy air fleet. Let that sink in, just for later. Just for later. Let that sink in. Just for later. He was several hundred meters above ground. He had a grenade, right here in his hand, and exploded in his hand. Remember that. Remember that for later.
So that now means that 2 characters have sacrificed their lives to save the world. So we've lost Tella and we've lost Sid.
You forgot the twins.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
twins
Jan.
don't exist.
There's a song for that as well. Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah, we've lost 4 party members.
Oh boy.
And Yang, let's not forget him.
Yeah, he was one of the 2. Okay. So we improved our airship and got a crane minigame claw attached to our airship. And with a crane minigame claw, we can now claw ourselves the... Metakono is the name. I forgot. I'm just calling it the Airgummy boat every time. And we're now moving towards the Lodestone Cave, where we will meet another new character, which we have yet to see. And yeah, we will move onward in the run. There's still a bunch of walking to do, especially during the Lodestone Cave. And let's hope... Okay, I just hoped we could get a 0 encounter Lodestone Cave, but... Or should I say first screen 0 encounter, but yeah, with the RNG that we had in this run so far, I doubt we can get good RNG like that. I don't think we're allowed to get good RNG. Okay, so we have another shop here where we have to buy ice armor. We did buy one, okay. We have to buy power staff and 51 shurikens. Why 51 exactly? Because you just have to press 5 times to the right to get those 51, and getting 50 means you have to do 1 extra input. So let's just buy 51. So we got the move on through the first passage and hope for the best that we don't get any more encounters than we already have, because we have gotten way too many encounters so far. And let's just hope we don't get any more, hopefully. Yes? Not looking good. Okay. But we're also now going into a different screen where if we want to advance the game, you usually would not have to go here, but we do go here for 2 items in this little corner right here, if we would not get encounters every 5 seconds. And those chests actually have 2 elixirs, and as we talked about earlier in this run, we do need elixirs and ethers a ton in this run, so those will come in quite handy. And once we have that, we will move on and go through this secret passageway right here, and go through here and get another encounter. And after this encounter, we should be right before the Prince of Eblon Edge, who will try to defend himself. Or should I say, he's trying to get revenge on Rubicon, because Rubicon was the one who destroyed not only Eblon, but he also did something very terrible to his parents. So, Arctic, if you want to take it away, we have a little bit of time.
Thank you. Would you want to let you all know as well, or rather, shall we do it the other way? Did you know that if you donate for ESA Summer 21 here, you have the chance to win some prizes? Yes, that's right. Every time you put a donation in, you have a chance to win if you meet the minimum threshold. For example, minimum donation of $10 throughout any point in the marathon here, you can win or have a chance to win a Bomberman Perler Bead Sprite. It is a small sprite of Bomberman from the NES that we saw earlier, made from perler beads, and it's pretty cool. We also, of course, have a ViewSonic Elite XG270 monitor for a minimum donation of $25. We have a special ESA-themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller made by Spicy Frog called This Is The Run. That is a minimum donation of $30. And we have another ViewSonic monitor, this time the ViewSonic Elite Monitor VX2705-2KP. It's a 27-inch QHD monitor that's basically really big, really fun, and really cool. It's really useful, actually. You would want to take a look at that. $35 minimum donation. And of course, the grand prize, a Sony PlayStation 5 with the ever awesome Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Minimum $50 donation for this one. However, as said, all your donations are cumulative, which means if you do $5 here, $5 there, as long as you reach that minimum total, you will be entered for your chance to win. And as I was saying that, we do have a $5 from Yang who's calling out Matako. Matako, am I a joke to you?
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah. I have to do a couple of things here. Defend... Wait, he doesn't have to defend anymore? Oh yeah, he does. Never mind me. I'm just forgetting things, as per usual. Throw over attack. Slow is already in there. Bluff, cry, defend. Oh, yeah, right. The most important part. Not white magic. Wait, I quit power staff. Did I? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. Items. Never mind. Yeah. I'm forgetting how this game works. So, yeah, we gotta go to items, power staff. Because if we have power staff, we can then... Oh, wait, we don't have to change party. No, we don't have yet. Okay. Because if we have power staff, we can then cast power staff. I don't know how that works. We can cast power staff on a party member to berserk them. And in this case, it's going to be Kane. Because Kane is, contrary to belief, he's going to be the main damage dealer once we are past Rubicon. Because we will get quite a bunch of good weapons, 2 ogre killers to be exact, and those will be given to each Cecil and Kane to deal a bunch of damage. And as you saw earlier, I was in the party menu. I was like, wait, don't I have to do something in the party menu? But I already was thinking ahead already, and was thinking about a menu which is after the Rubicon fight, where we actually have to change Kane's and Edge's position, like we have to swap them. So Kane is in the front row and deals the most amount of damage with his ogre killer. Okay, so since there is quite a lot going on with Rubicon when we're during that fight, so since there's going to be a lot of stuff happening during the Rubicon fight, let's hear Matako what he thinks, or what the SNES version of Rubicon fight is, because I don't really know, and I want to see if it's like somewhat similar.
Right. For the... Right, so we've done the Rubicon. The first one's with just like Ed soloing Rubicante, yeah? And then we get the cutscenes after that. So for this one... I'm pretty sure it's exactly the same party. It's like the fight's like a minute and a half. Right, so it's Kane's got a new weapon, so he's just attacking. Then Rosie just defends. Cecil's just attacking. We tank a lot of stuff. Kane uses, Edge uses Flood. What does Rydia do? Rydia summoning something or other.
Shiva.
A lot of these fights is.
She probably.
Oh, she uses Ice too because Rubicante's Fire Elemental. So yeah.
Yeah, probably Shiva.
So it's really just it's just a lot of damage for these ones. So for the 4 fiends, at this point, we really just start playing the game normally again. There isn't any like fancy shenanigans or like double equipping weapons and stuff like that where you shouldn't be. So it's pretty straightforward stuff.
Okay, we're about to get up to Rubicon as we still have to flee from several encounters. So this is gonna be the second bathroom break there is in the run, and this one is significantly longer than the first one. 1 sec, I actually have to heal Cecil here and Rosa just in case, and then battle speed fast, and then we will see Edge's parents once again. Okay. So Edge will see his parents again, and they say, "Oh, we're not the parents that you know that we are." And now we're gonna defend with our party, if we could defend. 1 sec. ATB, ATB, ATB. We just need the ATB to advance so we can actually defend. Defend, 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 and we should be good to go. BRB.
So at this point in the story, we've gone to the Tower of Babel to try and collect the crystals that Golbez has hidden away, and that's where we believe them to be. And then we find out that he's actually moved them to a different part of the tower, which is why we end up in the Tower of Eblan, and we get Edge to join us. So now that we've got Edge, we've come back to the Tower of Babel, and we're going to try and collect those original crystals and steal them from Golbez. There's a huge like game of cat and mouse, basically for the rest of the run, where we're trying to either get the crystals or get the dark crystals before Golbez does, and we get this whole back and forth thing. And the reason we had to leave the first tower was because it was trapped. So we had the cannons with the imps, and then turns out Golbez had trapped the tower. So whenever Sid sacrificed himself, that was to reseal it so that they wouldn't be able to follow us. So hopefully this part of the tower hasn't been trapped as well. So goodness knows what could happen.
Okay, so I got back just in time to skip the cutscene in time and fight our lovely Rubicon. So how this fight works is basically Ultima, yet again, and we bluff with Rydia and then cast Jiva. So one interesting fact about Rubicon fight is he has two stances, an opening stance and a closing stance. And we can manipulate that stance with Edge if we just steal from him. I think it's a very interesting thing that we can do. We also have to, right now, see when Rubicon is going to attack Cecil, because he's going to attack Cecil, and we did equip Ice Armor, did we? Yes, we did. Yes, okay, perfect. We do that, then we can twin cast High Potion, then we get twin cast 100%, When we get that back, then we do summon Shiva, and then we steal again so we can open up Rubicon. Because Rubicon changes his weakness the way he has his stance on. When he's opened, he's weak to ice, but when he's closed, he's not weak to ice. Okay. Oh, it should steal, probably. Okay, so Ultima and Shiva hit. 9.1k, that's pretty good damage. We close Rubicon once again. We can't keep him open for long enough because if he stays open for too long, Rubicon will then cast Inferno. And Inferno kills our entire party. And as you all know, we can't cast Mini. And even if we would cast Mini, it would only survive for one fight anyway. Kane is alive. That's actually not good. I forgot to kill Kane. How am I gonna go about this? This is bad. Back up. How am I doing this?
I think you just kill him in like maybe a random encounter or something.
Yeah, but where? He should have actually died during the Rubicon fight, but I forgot to kill him. Yeah, what are we gonna do? That's bad.
I think you're good on experience.
I think just... Wait, can we kill Fusoya during the CPU? I don't think we can. The strat I'm doing has him alive like until the very end, and he's like the last caster.
Well, if you flip the order, if you start with Meteor from him, you can kill him.
I could kill Cecil, I guess, during Demon Wall. I mean, he doesn't do that much damage anyway.
True.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea, despite... Even though, how many levels does he get from Demon Wall? Because Ultima.
Yeah, that's
Ultima
true.
for Archfiends. Routing right now on ESA Marathon. This is off script, off routes. I am a little bit concerned.
Well, you need to get him to critical health, anyways.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned about the MP now.
MP?
MP, EXP. For Rydia, right now. Or should she be able to get Haste March at the end of CPU?
I'm not sure, actually. She did survive against Lugar, though, so...
That's at least one thing. Okay, can we get Haste and Berserk, or Haste and Dispel, whatever, after Demon Wall on Rosa now? Because I do need haste for Archfiends.
Yeah.
So that should be okay. Worst case scenario, I might actually have to fight a random encounter on the moon so we can get Rosa to level... Rydia, not Rosa. Rydia to level 40 so she can get haste march. I think... It's either that or we're screwed.
Okay, so... The reason why we want to kill Kane, it's two reasons. One, because he's gonna get an ability or an augment, Adrenaline, that doubles his strength when he's in critical health. So killing him off and reviving him puts him at critical health.
Gonna kill him
and
right now.
Yeah, another reason is to give more experience to the other characters so they learn spells, which we really need.
Okay, this is scuffed. This is scuffed. This should not work like this. Not at all. Okay. But it somehow did. Okay, so you usually would actually revive him a lot later during like a menu. But since I could not... because I forgot to kill him during Rubicon, I had to kill him now, and because I was already in a fight, I was like, okay, why not just revive him at the same time so I don't have to do it later in a menu. So, yeah, we're back to the Dwarven castle, and we need someone who can make our ship better so we can travel over lava. Because the lava's too hot and would burn our ship. And we go through the Dwarven castle and ask several people, if they can make our ship better. And at the same time, the king tells us, hey, Sid, who actually used himself as like a decoy to defeat the enemies, has survived the grenade explosion in his hand right next to him. Plus a several 100-meter fall to the ground. And he acts like nothing happened. And he's repairing our airship. Or improving it, should I say. Also, nice hammering the air. That definitely improves the airship. Like, I could hammer air and I could make air better that way. I definitely could. Okay, there's a bit more of traveling going on in the meantime. Argik, if you want to take it away, feel free.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'm going to just turn around and say there, he's clearly not hammering air. You're hearing noises when he does that. You know, like ting, ting, ting. Like he's hitting something. But yeah, just want to let you all know this is ESA Summer 21 and we are raising money for Save the Children. You can see just on the bottom of the screen there, our next milestone to beat is ESA 2014 at $35,349. We are very, very close to that. In fact, we are less than $1,000 away. If we can hit that during this run, that would be phenomenal because we've still got a good, maybe hour and 40 minutes left on that. But of course, you can put all your donations towards any number of our incentives that we have right now. We have a number of naming incentives, as you heard earlier. We do have Chuck Norris entering the ring for the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD file name. And we also have the Crash the Coasters incentive here. If you want to set all the roller coasters to fly off the tracks and blow up, please note, no humans will be harmed, we promise. Then you are currently at $485 out of $1,000 for that. And then, of course, something else, and I'm a bit biased on this one. We have a skin choice for the upcoming Skylar and Plux run, Adventure on Clover Island. Right now, the Samus Aran model is winning at $10. However, you also have the choice between the default model or our very own Sonic the Hedgehog. Unfortunately, Sonic is currently at $0 right now, but your donations can change that. If you want to see Sonic running around a giant 3D adventure platformer, then you can get your donations in for that.
Man, speaking of Samus Aran, I am so excited for Metroid Dread. I know that's not FF topic related at all, but I just want to get this out there. I am mad excited for Metroid Dread. To give you a timeline, Metroid Dread is a continuation of Metroid Fusion, a game which came out 19 years ago. I'm 21 now. I basically experienced the entirety of growing up, becoming a teenager, and early adulthood between Metroid Fusion releasing and Dread, which just is mind-boggling to me. So please give this game a chance if you can afford it. Okay, so we're giving Adrenaline here to Kane, so he will do double damage once he's in crit. Then we go to abilities, give Kane the Adrenaline, which we talked about earlier. Then we go back to equipment. Actually, I should have done equipment first, I forgot. Mithril Gloves on him, Power Armlets, Black Belt, if I could equip it. Mithril Shield, Overkiller. Party Formation... We did Power Staff, right? I think we did Power Staff. About to be fast, yeah. Did we do? Yes, we did Power Staff. We should be a-okay. And now we fight a door monster. A monster door, whatever. Sometimes I'm wondering what I'm doing wrong. I swapped the wrong party members. Okay, yeah, that's my fault. That's 100% my fault. Yeah, I should have swapped Kane and Edge and not the other way around. Yeah, that's that. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. I should have swapped Edge and Kane, not Edge and Rosa. So yeah, let's do the menu again. Go up this rope right here. Do the menu with Kane getting adrenaline. 1 sec. There we go. Equipment. Kane. Power gloves. Black belt. Shield and Ogre Killer. Ogre Killer. Mithril gloves. Then abilities. Kane, you give him adrenaline. You already have given her power staff, which is good. Party, now change Edge with Kane. Thank you very much. And then we do battle speed fasts. Yes, we do. And then we're good to go with the fight. There we go. So these doors we have to fight 3 times total before we have to fight the boss himself. So the strat here is to cry on the door so the defense goes down. Kane attacks, power staff on Kane, so we have a berserked Kane plus adrenaline. And as you can see, Kane does a bunch of damage in crit health with his adrenaline plus Ogre Killer, sorry about that, and Berserk. It deals a bunch of damage. And together with Shurikens, which also deal a lot of damage, we can make quick work out of those monster doors. And that's monster door number 1. We should get Mini at this point, right? No, we don't. Okay, so next fight it's gonna be Mini then, I guess. Okay, so we're moving on in the sealed cave, where we have a bunch of walking around. So yeah. Matako, is there anything special with Demon Wall in this NES version that you might be able to talk about? Like some glitch or anything?
I don't think there's anything really. So it's like, I mean, like, because we've got once you lose the Dark Crystal, it's to Lunar Wheel at that point.
So for us in this version of the run, or rather what we do in the run, we actually don't do anything special either. It's basically just a DPS race, and since we have adrenaline on Kane, we will be able to do a bunch of damage with Kane. He does like 5,000 damage per hit, which is really, really, really good. And yeah, we'll just DPS race him to the end. And until then, we have a bunch to walk. I would say this is probably the second longest dungeon, next to the moon itself. Giant of Babel is actually shorter than this. But yeah, here is a lot to walk around. So yeah. Argik, if you want to, you can take it away once more.
Oh, thank you. I'm getting so many spaces here. I love it. I'm struggling for things to say. it's like when we were coming through this, it's what, like 3 and 10 minutes? Like, oof. That's great. Now, I do want to let you all know, folks, that we are, of course, ESA Summer 21 here, raising money for Save the Children. Did you know that Save the Children were the first global organization devoted solely to serving children's needs and securing their rights? They are often the first or only child-focused organization working in the hardest-to-reach places where it's the toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. They work with youth, their families, and their communities to ensure that young people's health needs are met. You can help give children a future by donating to this event. Did you know that $2.50 in the world's poorest countries, millions of mothers have no choice but to give birth at home without basic medical supplies or a midwife? Your $2.50 can provide a mother in need with clean delivery kit containing all the essentials, such as a bar of soap, a plastic sheep, a sterile razor blade, an umbilical string, and a cotton wrap for the baby. So every little donation helps here. Give as much or as little as you can and know that it's going to a great cause. And Mutako, I did not say sheep, I said sheet, and I see you. Taking over my accent here. Not sheep, sheet, good sir. Thank you very much.
Oh man, the clashing of the dialects and accents.
The clash of the accents. The fun stuff for ESA, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's always beautiful getting encounters. It's always beautiful talking to you guys and talking to your experiences, what you have with the marathon. It's always a pleasure. It's always feel like it's like coming home, despite like going away from home. But it feels like coming home, being together with you guys. It's a pleasure. I think that's the way I can sum it up. It's always a pleasure. I'm so happy to be a part of it, and yeah, I'm very excited once ESA on-site can be a thing again. But when that is going to be, I don't know. Only time can tell.
I feel you on that, mate. I share the exact same sense. Like, ESA it's a holiday, but it's not just a holiday. It's meeting up with friends, and it's a fantastic time. At least we're able to do it online this year, you know? But here's hoping, maybe next year, this time next summer, we'll be back in person, back in Malmo, having a great time, and running live, and doing all the silly shenanigans that we normally do.
Mm-hmm. Also want to give a quick shout outs to ESA. They actually made name tags for Home Edition, and this makes it the Home Edition ESA even more in person, or the most in person as it can get. Like those name tags have been quite essential for the in-person events. So actually having name tags during the at-home edition of ESA is like the closest we can get to in-person while not being in person. Because those badges are absolutely essential, because when you come across someone, you're like, oh, hey, what's your name? And then we look at the name tag.
Harvey? Badge check.
Here. Only ESA attendees will understand that reference. Only ESA attendees will understand that reference.
Well, while we're doing this, hey folks, how about we try and get a $5 donation train, huh? We know how much money can help save the children here. We want to raise as much as we can. Let's get a $5 donation train going during Final Fantasy IV here. Should be a $4 donation train, but let's go with 5, because 5's a lot better, right?
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. It's only a weak one. So a monster can emerge from the door, and sometimes it's a dragon. And if it's dragon, I'm most likely dead. But if it's an enemy like that, we can quickly deal with it. But if it's a dragon, then I'm most likely dead. Okay, we got Mini, which is really good. One of the most wanted spells, especially towards the end of the run. And now we're gonna fight Demon Wall. So, as mentioned previously, Demon Wall is just going to be a DPS race. As we want to cross the bridge, and for some reason we don't walk, and ignore the Demon Wall for like whatever reason. We just watch how the wall gets closer, and we just don't run away. I don't get why, but they're not running away. And yeah, we're forced into a battle with Demon Wall. 99,999 HP. What we do is, we basically just deal as much damage as possible by using Cry to lower the defense, attacking with Kain and Cecil to do enough damage, use Bluff with Iridia, and then do a Dragon Summon to deal as much damage as possible onto the Demon Wall. And then we use Power Staff on Rosa to Berserk both Cecil and Kain, or Kain and Cecil, because we do Kain first with the Berserk, and then we do Cecil. And then we summon a dragon to deal even more damage, and then we do a Shuriken throw, because Shuriken deals way too much damage. And thus, if we don't miss too many attacks, which can happen just like now, we can defeat Demon Wall before it defeats us. Okay. Whoops. So, as you can see, there's just a DPS rise, and we're trying to deal as much damage as possible, and we're praying every time that Cecil and Kane both hit their attacks, because they love to miss. Okay, we're good so far. But don't forget to bluff and use the dragon summon as well to deal a lot more damage. 4006, it's pretty good. We're on good pace in dealing damage. Just don't start missing all of a sudden. Then we're good. Okay, we're on good pace. We're on good pace for damage. As you can see, like, the wall is coming closer, and the wall actually doesn't attack us until it's like very close to us. And then it uses a move, I think it's called Crumble or Crush. And that deals quad 9 damage. So I actually never tried using Mini here and see what happens. But there might actually be some funny stuff happening if we would Mini ourselves and then just get past the Crush. I want to see if, like, Demon Wall just keeps on going further to the right and we just don't die because he uses Crush the entire time. Something I actually have to try out. Curious. Want to see what happens. Maybe credits Warp Kappa. And we got a double miss. Yeah.
So in the SNES version of FF4, you can do a glitch, and you can skip the sealed cave altogether by doing some warp stuff with Rydia. So you can actually avoid fighting the demon's walls altogether.
We should be done with this fight very soon. This might be the last hit. Yes, it is. Let's go. Okay. Done with Demon Wall. Now, we have to leave the sealed cave. And there is one problem in this version, which I would love that they would change, but I don't think that's something that we can get ever. And I saw that other versions of this game, they can just emergency exit to the start of the cave. But that's not a thing here. We actually have to walk throughout the entire cave. We have to walk back. Very sad that we actually have to walk back. Would love to be able to use emergency exit and get back to the start. Would save us several minutes of just pure walking. But, yeah. More walking through the sealed cave. And we're getting more encounters. Okay, let's just hope we don't die here. I mean, it wouldn't matter as much because we have autosaves. But still, dying would lose us a bunch of time, and we don't want that. So, on our way out of the sealed cave, you just saw me there unequipping Kane. So what happens story-wise is, for some reason, Kane gets mad again at us, for some reason. Probably because he gets taken over by Golbez again.
Yeah, it's mind control.
Yeah, mind control. And he steals the crystal that we just got from the Demon Wall. Or before we fought Demon Wall. He takes the crystal with him, and he's going back to Golbez. So, what we then do, we get kind of annoyed that Kane is betraying us yet again, and then we will move on to the Dwarven Castle once again, and for some reason, we are asking Sid once again to help us make our ship a little bit better, so we can actually get out of the Underworld, because right now we are actually stuck in the Underworld because we cannot drill a hole to get out of the ground from the Underworld. So, Sid does improve our airship once more by hammering air, and actually he's installing a drill at the head or at the front of the airship, so we can then drill a hole through the ceiling, or should I say bottom of the Underworld, or should I say Overworld, to then get out, and then we're called to go to Mesidia To then continue. Yeah, continue. Continue is definitely an English word. To then continue the story once more, and then we can go all to the moon with the Lunar Whale. Also, shoutouts to the Lunar Whale for being one of the best themes in the entire game, in my opinion. Definitely underrated. So, Argic, you want to take it away once more?
Oh, yes, I do. And the best thing is, we said we were looking for $5 here, so excuse me while I put on my lovely little conductor hat here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to ESA 21 Conductor Train bound for Save the Children. Please have your tickets at the ready. We're about to have our tickets, please. We have a $5 donation here from MT Null that says, Argic, please say something. Something. We also have a $5 donation here from Poetics119 saying, save the frames, save the children, save the moon. Oops. Spoilers for 90 minutes from now. Sorry. I can't believe we have spoilers on the train here. We also have a $5 donation here from Ronan saying, we are jumping on the train. Once again, folks, this is the ESA 21 train bound for Save the Children. Please do get your tickets at the ready for more Conductor Arg.
I did not expect that.
Great, right? I love having toys. I love having toys. It's so much fun.
I did not expect that at all. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh.
For every $5 donation that comes in with an appropriate message, I will read it out in Conductor Arg voice. You know what to do, folks. It's all going to a good cause.
Let's go all on the train. Choo choo. Beautiful. Oh my god. This is beautiful. That I think I can only say this is beautiful. That's all I can say. Beauty. Beauty. We unequipped Kane. I did remember that we did unequip Kane, which is the important part. So, to go back on why we unequip Kane, when Kane actually comes back later in the run, spoilers alert, he will actually not come back with the items that he leaves when he was equipped with. He actually comes back with Gongnir and a couple of other different equipment things. Also, this black screen scares me, because every time, because it loads so long, I feel like the game is crashing. I always get scared every time because I feel, oh, is the game crashing? Is the game crashing? Yeah. So when Kane comes back, he usually has like Gongnir equipped, which is a worse weapon than Ogre Axe, Ogre Battle Axe. See, I completely forgot the name already of a very crucial item or weapon that we use in the run. Well, yeah, those weapons and equipments will be replaced with the Gongnir and stuff, and we don't want that, because Gongnir is weaker and deals less damage, so we unequip everything beforehand. So when he comes back, we can then equip him with the good stuff, so he can deal max amount of damage again. Okay, talking once again with the Dwarf, and for some reason, Sid is perfectly fine. Final Fantasy. Okay, so we have a little of a cutscene right here of not only Sid improving the ship, but also the dwarves hammering the air above the steering wheel, because yeah, that definitely needs fixing and improvement. And then Edge flirting with Rydia. And then Edge getting rejected. And Sid telling him, don't do that. Talking to Cecil, what needs improvement? Then he goes over there to install the drill, and then faints.
Edge looks like he's been put in the corner with his head against that metal beam.
Oh boy. One-handed movement. Horrible. Don't drink and run. It's a bad combination. Okay. There we go. Okay, once we move out the Dwarven castle, we will then see our upgraded airship. And as you can see, there's like a little nozzle, like the tip of the airship, which you can see clearly looks like it's trying to drill something, right? And as you can see right now, it's about to drill a hole through the ground. All the mountains disappear, and we emerge on top. Now, we're just flying to... Wait. I don't know if this is correct on the camera, but this side. For me, it's this side. Whatever. And go to Mesidia, and now we talk again to the Elder, who's then talking about the the prophecy. This is the prophecy from what I remember. Yeah, this is the prophecy which he talks about. Yeah. I think, if I remember correctly, this summons the Lunar Whale. I mean, speedrunning-wise, it makes sense because we're going into the Lunar Whale just about now. Right after this cutscene. So you will see the mouse cursor again skipping cutscenes, so sorry about that. Game. Yep. As you can hear, probably one of the best themes in the entire game. Da 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 dum. Da 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 dum. Man, I love this theme. So good. So good. Like, let's just take a moment and listen to it. So good. I love it. Okay, we're on the moon. Spoilers for Endwalker, probably. If you... Just kidding. I've never played FF14 before, so I don't know what Endwalker could be. But just in case... So yeah,
I mean, we have our own lunar whale mounts now, so, you know, I think that's a big clue.
Maybe. Okay, as we're getting demolished by the random encounters on the moon, and yeah, the random encounters are significantly more buffed on the moon than they are in the Underworld or Overworld. They're extremely strong, like, absolutely bonkers strong. Like, boy, they're strong. They do way too much damage. So yeah, we're trying to survive the moon, which is, without oxygen masks, surprised that they can actually handle the moon. And actually not freezing to death as well. But yeah, it's medieval times. Whatever. We're going through these lunar tunnels and all that good jazz. And we will slowly but surely get through, or get to another place, which name I actually forgot. Man, a lot of people actually told me to play FF14, and I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can people convince me to start playing FF14? It's hard. It's hard. Like, I had a lot of people already trying to tell me, play FF14, play FF14. But I will say, nah, I can't. I'm sorry, but I can't. It's, like, the story can be, like, the best story ever. But, I think I have a bad history with MMOs. It's not that I hate MMOs, it's more the opposite. I'm basically addicted to MMOs. And that's the bad part. Like, if FF14 is that good, then I'm scared that I might actually drop speedrunning altogether. And I don't want to drop speedrunning altogether. That's the main thing that I'm worried about. That if I would start to play FF14, then I would drop speedrunning and all that stuff. And I don't want to drop that. Not at all. I love speedrunning too much. And I love all you people as well. And giving up speedrunning and all of this, like the entire community thing, ESA Marathon and everything, for playing an MMO? I'd much rather take this than the MMO.
Do you know what you don't get in MMOs?
What?
Conductor Argic.
Oh yeah. Let's take it away, Argic.
Somebody calls for Conductor Argic here. We are ready for the train to save the children. We have a $5 donation here once again from Empty No that says Agric, not Argic. Agric, please say something again. Something again. We also have a $5 donation here from Uncle Worry that says, yes sir, I can boogie. We've also got a $5 donation here from Keishan that says, this is Conductor Argic. Welcome on board the greetings leaving from Germany, bound for saving the children. Please keep all hands and feet within the car during the ride, or else... We also have a $5 donation here from Lugar saying, good afternoon everyone and welcome on board the ESA Express. Our destination is ESA 2014 at $35,349, with major stations being $33,000, $34,000 and $35,000. We will today serve since quality speedruns, including Final Fantasy IV, Alien Isolation on a steering wheel, and X-Mutants. Please make sure that you have your valid ESA $5 ticket on hand for easy processing. Have a beautiful day. Thank you very much for your tickets, folks. Please do keep your tickets coming in and let us smash those donation targets as we reach Save the Children.
Perfect. So what you just saw there is me closing the game and reopening it. This has a very specific reason, which... for some odd reason, in one of the cutscenes coming up, when like Rydia talks to the party and like the scene transitions from the camera pointed at the party and then goes like to the giant of Babel, like walking towards us and getting attacked by the dwarves. For some reason, the game just closes itself if I don't like quick save and then close the game. Like right now is where the game would just for some reason close itself. And it only happens to me. I tried reinstalling the game, I tried finding new drivers, I basically tried everything at this point. I just think that my PC really hates this game, or vice versa. I think this game really hates my PC, and likes to close itself whenever this cutscene appears. So I can counter that by just quick saving and then closing and reopening the game, like right before we go down there. I don't know why, it just happens. It's a necessary time loss. It's like 30 seconds, 40 seconds for me. If I wouldn't have that time loss, I would have a nice time save for my run, which I'm just not allowed to get for some reason, because my PC is suddenly really bad. I don't know, if someone who actually has an idea what this could be and how I could change like my settings and how this could get fixed, if someone actually has an idea of what could be the case, please contact me. I've talked to like several people about this and they all had no idea. So if you might have an idea what it could be that could cause this quote-unquote crash, it's not really a crash, the game just closes itself. If you have any idea about this, and you have any knowledge in this, then please contact me, because I would love for the game to, like, not pseudo-crash anymore on me. Yeah, that'd be nice. So yeah, now we enter the Giant of Babel. Giant of Babel, the second last dungeon in the game, leading up to the next boss, or should I say bosses, the Archfiends and CPU. So, to actually give a little bit of a background to CPU, CPU has been one of the stupidest fights, let's put it that way. It's one of the stupidest fights ever, especially in the DS run, because in the DS run, you actually have to pray to have the perfect ATB, and if you don't, your run's basically dead. Because you have to kill the left node before it can cast Laser Barrage. And as you know, Laser Barrage deals way too much damage. I don't know if you can vouch for that for the CPU fight on SNES. I don't even know if you kill CPU on SNES. Do you?
You do, yeah. It only does like the laser beams do like 300.
300? It does quad 9 here.
So when we do CPU in the Super Nintendo run, the Fusoya, like Fusoya just absolutely wreck shop with Meteor and Nuke. But yeah, so the maze, like, so it's like mazers do like 200-300.
Laser Barrage is busted in the 3D remake. Like, that stuff deals way too much damage, even on normal mode. Like, on hard mode, it does like quad 9 all the time. And in normal, it does like 8 or 7 or 8k. Like, still way too much damage. So it is one of the stupidest fights in the entire run, if it weren't for Mini. Mini is a literal godsend for that fight, so it was the first fight I used it on, and I was super excited when we actually figured out Mini reversal is actually a thing. Because that fight is a pain to deal with. Especially since you have to rely on RNG to have good ATB and to win the fight. That's like the only way you can win CPU. If you can kill left node first. Yeah, but since we have Mini and Toad actually is also a glitched move. Toad actually gives us Faith, which multiplies our magic damage, which also includes summons, by 1.2 times. It's really good to have that as well. We can deal a bunch of damage to it. We are also very close to the 4 Archfiends, which we're about to fight. And in the meantime, we are going to take this elixir and fulfill the map, because fulfilling this map also is giving you an elixir. Reason why is we have to use 3 elixirs during the Archfiends fight, and we have to use 1 elixir after the fight. And speaking of the Archfiends, I'm about to set up for the Archfiends fight, so... Oh my god. No. Okay. Dash, if you want to take it away to explain the Archfiends fight, it's a very sophisticated fight, so... Yeah, please take it away.
By the way, have you thought of your XP management?
Yeah, I'm all gonna kill off... what's his face? Fusoya.
I was gonna suggest, like, just keep Cecil petrified in this fight.
That's another good idea, yeah. But I'm gonna kill Fusoya anyway.
Alright. Okay, anyway, so coming up is the 4 Archfiends. So we've already fought them on their own before, but now we fight all of them at once. Except you kind of fight them one after the other. So you start with Scarmiglione, and he's really easy. You just use 3 elixirs on him to kill him. But because he's so easy, you use this time to like set up your party. And when you cast, like right before you cast the last elixir, you queue up like super strong attacks with everyone else. So you instantly blast Goniatzo, the next boss. So to prevent him from casting slow or sleep on your party. So if Harvey times everything right here, Goniatzo will not be an issue. That's like the biggest thing in this fight. So he really needs to time it right. So that's 2 elixirs, I believe. Haste Redia, Bluff. It's gonna be using Ultima, Lysaga, and Shiva on the next guy. Okay, here he waits for it to queue up. Okay, this looks good. Let's see if he gets it here. Okay, a counter. Ooh, that's a bit unfortunate. Okay, yeah, he got it.
Okay,
very nice.
We should be good. With Goniatzo at least. Can we get the quick kill for Barbarizia though?
Yeah, let's see. Like, she will start her tornado phase. If we're lucky, Edge can get an attack in.
No!
Ah,
What?
it's barely not.
Oh, come on!
So yeah, now
Wow!
the attack will miss. That extra damage can make it like... Yeah, it makes it faster, but I'd say usually you don't get it.
That's so annoying. Oh, it says like 20 to 30 seconds, so it's not a lot, but it actually is a lot for me.
I think it's just like 15 seconds max, but yeah.
Okay.
Also, fun fact, she's not actually weak to Holy until after she becomes a tornado.
Do I have to cry though? I mean, for Ruby can't.
Yeah.
So I have to keep Cecil alive then.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long it takes.
Please don't get petrified. Okay, there we go. I hope Holy is not gonna trigger. I hope that it's not going to trigger Ruby can't. Okay, there we go. That's good. And we can do slow again. Cry. Then we can actually wait here because he's not going to attack. He's actually going to open by himself in any second now.
Yeah.
Then video bluff. Fusoya gonna queue up Blizzaga. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Summon Shiva. Ready to steal again. Actually gonna that to get rid of. Okay, bluff once more. We want to kill Fusoya for EXP management. Hopefully, Rydia will level up to level 40 after CPU. I'm not entirely sure, but that's what I hope will happen.
Yeah, that should happen. Yeah, this should kill.
Kill. Okay, just in case, I'm gonna throw a shuriken. Just in case. Okay, just in case, Shiva as well. And that kills. Okay. Safety shuriken. Okay, we got Archfiend's done. Very nice, very nice. Could have been a lot worse. Ugh. And now on to CPU. Okay. Now on to CPU. CPU has become one of the worst, was one of the worst fights and is now one of the fastest and easiest fights to do. And most interesting, in my opinion, the way we treat them. So yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of menu stuff here. So, sorry about that if I'm not gonna commentate anything about that. We want to use High Potion on him and on her. We want to use Ether. Actually, no. We want to use Elixir first on Rosa. And then we want to use a Phoenix Down on him. And then we want to use Dry Ether on him. And on him. We want to do one mini. One Toad. And another mini. And then we can do to get him full on. Yeah, I don't need the other ether actually. I'm actually good. Battle speed fast. Yeah, we should be good. I think we're good, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're good. Okay, let's go. And CPU, here we go. So how CPU works? Since we have mini, we don't die to anything. Other than unless we accidentally heal ourselves. So what we do is cry with Cecil at the start, then immediately, or actually right from the get-go, Shuriken main CPU. You actually have to do this multiple times. Then we bluff with Rydia, and then we do a Ramu summon. And that Ramu summon has to go before we do the Meteor and the Twin Cast Ultima. Because a Ramu is going to heal, it's going to damage two parts, but healing the right knob that you can see. And so we don't have any issues with damage later on. We do Ramu from the get-go, so the red one's gonna get healed right away, and then Twin Cast, and then Black Magic, Meteor. I think I'm fine, or I think I have to shoot one more. I think now I should be fine. If I don't get damage rolled, I should be fine. Let's do Ramu Summon once again, just in case. But this should be CPU. Because we're now only waiting. Now we're just waiting for everything to go off. Including Ultima and Meteor. Best case scenario, all three of them die at the same time. Let's go. Ah, my god, okay. The Ramu summon will kill it then. Oh man, and the Object 99 happens before we can do the Ramu summon. Which now will kill CPU. And that CPU. If I wouldn't have gotten damage rolled, a CPU would have been done way quicker. But yeah, that's FF4 for you. Sometimes RNG just does not like you. And that's CPU for you, and let's hope we get level 40. Yes! Level 40, haste march, we're good, we're good. We're good. We're good, we're safe. We're safe. We're safe. Okay. The last part of the run. The long drought between CPU and Zeromus is upon us. But we are now getting into talks with Golbez, who actually talks a little bit about his past. And he talks about, yeah, he took to the Borderlands. Or, no, he asked himself first why he was so consumed by hate. And now we do see a flashback. Everyone loves flashbacks. We do see a flashback of him as a kid when his name was Theodore. And one night he wakes up and is like, can't sleep. So we go and like explore the world. And we see his dad, Kluya, who looks up into the stars, talks to him about something that I don't remember. Then Theodore goes back into the house, and instead of going to bed, he actually goes to his mother's room and see, oh my god, she actually fell out of bed. And like, she is in a very weak state. Like, she's very close to death. But yeah, she's also pregnant. But in the medieval times, this has happened, that when you've given birth, you can die in, like, when you're in a very bad scenario, which is sadly a thing. And yeah, we can be lucky that it doesn't happen, or should I say, as often anymore. There might be still places in the world where it does happen, which is not very good, but yeah, anyway. So she gave birth to a little kid, and that kid is the main protagonist, Cecil. And as she's holding Cecil, she sadly leaves the earth of Final Fantasy IV. And with this, Theodore suddenly gets consumed by an evil force. That evil force talks to him. And that evil force is none other than Zemus himself, or itself. Because what Zemus is, you can't call human. So, being cursed by Zemus, he gets an unknowingly hatred against Cecil. Or against the world, should I say. So what he does, Theodore just sets out Cecil somewhere, and Cecil's about to baby rage. As you can see, or hear. If you want to post your baby rages, now is the perfect time. Okay, now we're done. Okay.
No, I mean, we do find out in this cutscene that so Cecil's dad, Troya, and Zemus are both Lunarians.
So yeah, bunch of cutscenes coming up, and Kane is suddenly not a betraying guy again. Why is that? Golbez is not mind-controlled anymore, and because he's not mind-controlled anymore, means that Kane isn't mind-controlled anymore. So it's like kind of a chain that broke, because Golbez was broken out of that chain of hatred. And we're having another flashback with Cecil, the blonde-haired guy, talking to the greenish-haired Kane. And this little girl is Rosa when she was like 5 years old. Pretty adorable. I mean, I gotta say, DS graphics did a lot for such a limitation. And now, to the moon for one last time before we're finishing off this run. And when we talk about going somewhere and leading up to somewhere and hype and train, I'm gonna ask for my lovely conductor, Argig, to take it away once more.
Thank you very much. I am here. I was too engrossed in your story there to miss you the first time. Hopefully you can hear me. We have a couple of donations for the conductor here. We have a $5 donation from Sinkos saying, crushing this roller coaster with no survivors. Wait, what do you mean this is a train? Yes, this is a train, not a roller coaster. We are perfectly safe on the train bound for Save the Children. We also have a $10 donation here from the one and only Lugar. I believe this one is directed straight to you, Harvey. Worried that you'll drop speedrunning if you start Final Fantasy XIV? Then, as a fellow Final Fantasy XIV player, let me tell you, don't worry. Just like speedruns, Final Fantasy XIV won't go away. When you feel burned out or frustrated, then Final Fantasy XIV is a chill game. And then once calm, and you've got your drive back, you can jump right back into speedruns and come back later. Believe it or not, Final Fantasy XIV does have a speedrun community, so you can share your love for speedruns. On other Final Fantasy related stuff, my best friend is right now doing a marathon of all Final Fantasy games. Last I heard from him, he is somewhere in 4. I'm worried that he may have lost him. Harvey, you might be right that you cannot escape Final Fantasy IV.
Oh. Yeah. Wait, what did we talk about? A guy who can run all FF games in a row? Wait, does such a man exist? Does such a person exist? Matak, you probably know that guy.
No. I mean, I've played a Final Fantasy or two.
Yeah, just in case you don't know, Matako is the person, the sole and only person responsible for finishing every single FF game, including the MMOs, in one go, in a speedrun. Like, I'm at loss for words for that one. Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of the horrible things where it's like, I love to be like, oh yeah, it's not that difficult, it's not that hard to do, and you know, please, and I can't exactly advise people try it.
It's not the healthiest thing to do.
Yeah, if you would like to try your mettle at endurance marathoning in the speedrun.
Okay, we're doing some last adjustments to our party. We're giving them the abilities they need. Omnicast to Rosa. We give Haste March, which is a Bart song, to Rydia, which was one of the important things that we desperately needed for the final boss. And we equip Kane again with all the equipment that we need to make haste towards Zeromus. So, what you just saw is just the final equipment that we have to do for the final boss coming up, Zemus. We are actually going to finish in less than 30 minutes, so we're going to be quite underestimates, just in case staff is watching and hearing. In case we're too far under estimate, you might want to have a backup run ready, or just like a very short run ready to bend over, or to bridge over the time that we just gained. Because I did set my estimate a little bit too high when I submitted the game. I'm honest here. Yeah, I not accidentally, but I didn't know I might actually go underestimate this far. So just in case I don't mess up, which I hope, have a backup run ready if we are too far behind estimate. It should actually not even be half an hour, it's like more like 20 minutes. No, not even, it's like 15 minutes? How much actually? Let me check. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. 20 minutes from now. So, just in case everyone is alerted, we might gain quite some time. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Okay. That's why we have Phoenix. That's why we have Phoenix on Kane. Because, oh my god. These encounters, man. Okay, so the reason why we have Phoenix on Kane, a lot of people, including Quaz and Desh, they probably don't use Phoenix anymore. But the reason why I do it though is for cases like this, in case my entire party just rips. So they get revived by the Phoenix ability, which costs all the MP on Kane, but since we don't have any MP moves on Kane anyway, we don't have to care. Yeah, that's Phoenix. You don't necessarily need Phoenix anymore. You can skip it if you want to. But I still get Phoenix just for cases like this, in case I'm just getting bodied by the enemies on the moon. Which happens more often than not, actually, because the moon is powerful and the moon is trying to kill you. Pretty brutal, pretty brutal. Okay, so before we get into the deepest deep of the moon, and before we start fighting Zemus, Matako, for one last time, can you give us a little bit of insight in the fight of Seromus for the SNES version?
Yeah, I can do that. It's... You go with, so you start with the Zemus fight, and that's just between Golbez and Fusuya, and then all hell breaks loose. So Rosa, Kane, Cecil, Rydia, and Edge. So it's mostly Kane's just whipping with one of his lances. We use the spell White with Rosa. And that's basic. I presume that's the equivalent of Holy. So that does tons of damage. We use, a lot of healing with some of the other characters. It gets pretty sketchy. It's a lot of, where you get hit by like Big Bang and stuff like that. You're using elixirs and Cure 4 with Rosa. Kane's the big damage dealer. I think it's really basically use what you've got and who's alive and do the best you can. We also have, for a number of the fights, we use Reflect on Rosa, and then so we'll like reflect like Fire 3 or Cure spells at enemies and stuff like that. So we do reflect Virus off Rosa onto Zemus as well. It's a really powerful thing, so that Virus will put like someone into like super low health. I don't actually know what happens when you reflect it on an enemy specifically, but that's the other thing that we do for DPS on it. But yeah, it's a lot of it's another hit and hope one where we can out damage Zemus.
Kind of interesting that Kane is also a DPS, or the main damage dealer in the SNES version, because that's the exact same thing for the PC version. He is the main damage dealer here as well. it's kind of interesting how some of the stuff is completely different, but some of the stuff is very much the same in a different manner. I do think Kane does like jumping all the time in SNES. I didn't hear completely, so I might be wrong, but I think he does a lot of jumping in the SNES version, right?
Yeah, in the first 2 hours we jump a lot, and in the last 2 hours we just attack a lot.
Yeah, so it's the same here. We don't do a lot of jumping in general, but we do sometimes to deal damage. But here at the end of the run, or should I say for Zemus himself, Kane is just keep attacking and slashing Zeromus, and it's another one of those boss fights where we just pray to God that Kane is not missing his attacks. Like, good lord, please do not miss your attacks. Like, you've missed enough attacks already. We want your attacks to hit, you know? Yeah, we still have a little bit to go through the moon right here, and let's just hope we don't die. There are actually 2 parts to the moon, the lunar subterrane, and the second part, which I call the deep moon. The deep moon is places with the crystal or the glass tiles, with the incredibly strong enemies, and the place where you can ask yourself, why do I hear boss music? When you get an encounter, that is. And yeah, we're steadily, slowly but surely grinding our way through all these encounters and trying to flee from them without trying to getting a game over. And in the Deep Moon, we actually are going to grab 2 more chests, which are mainly 2 Fuma Shurikens. Those Fuma Shurikens will be used during the Zeromus fight, because we are wanting to damage push him. Because if we are quick enough, we can damage push past Zeromus's black hole with doing enough damage at the start of the fight. And if we use the Fuma Shurikens, the chances are very high we can get that. However, it has happened before when doing that strat that it didn't work, mainly when I missed too many attacks with Kane, which sadly is a thing. So yeah, we just gotta hope that Kane is hitting his attacks, and let's hope I'm not getting a game over again, because everyone's about to die. And, you know what? Conductor Argic, please take it away one more time.
Thank you very much. We do have one more donation coming in right now from our friends over at the German Restream, I believe, from James13594 with a $25 donation, saying, Germans sind die Besten, believing Germany is the best, and with a lovely little love heart at the end there. This will be the end of Conductor Argic. Let's see if we can get a few more donations coming in before the end of the run that we could read off here. And wishing our boy Harvey all the best on the final fight.
Thank you very much. So there's just a ton of walking going on, and like trying to not basically trying to not die. It's basically the motto right now, like try not to die. That's basically the motto right now, which is actually really hard. And yeah, also shoutouts to German Restream, amazing people. They asked me to do some commentary, but I sadly had to tell them, sorry, gotta work tomorrow. But yeah, shoutouts to them, absolutely amazing folks over there. And while I'm dying, also a big shoutouts to the Japanese Restream, to Sol Ashelia, Soru Ashelia-san. Sol-san actually has learned the entire run, like within a week, just so he can do the Japanese Restream and like commentate on the run. Absolutely legendary speedrunner. Give Sol Ashelia definitely a follow. He's an absolute incredibly talented speedrunner. Amazing speedrunner from the Japanese community. Very happy to have him on board for the FF4 speedruns. And shoutouts to all other restreams, the Brazilian restreams, the Russian restream, and oh man, I'm sorry, I don't know the other restream names, but all other restreams, thank you all so much for all the work you have done throughout the entire marathon. You're absolutely amazing. And thank you for contributing something for an amazing cause. We're getting Laser Barrage, and as you can see, we will get... Okay, only for 1,000. That's still a lot of damage, but not the 7 or 8k which I have imagined. We're slowly but surely working our way through the inner parts, or should I say the deep moon, with those... can you call this like glass tiles or like crystal tiles? I don't know. I don't know. Looks like glass to me. But yeah, walking towards the inner parts of the moon. And we're slowly but surely getting to the last zone, but we're still having to fight a lot of these, or getting out of these encounters, which are constantly trying to get us by like backstabbing. So we want to counteract that by just fleeing. And as we can see, we are in the last place before we go to the final boss. You know that you're in the last place before Zemus because there's like shines and like green light in the background. When you see that stuff, you know you're in the last area before the final boss. So these enemies can also be quite annoying. They can, what's it called? They can use a really, really overpowered move to just instantly wreck you if they want to. And they can also cost you time if they have like the battle text popping up, like must tell Zemus or something, which they just use analyze on you. For one reason, I don't know why and how this happened, but instead of the enemy analyzing me, it analyzed itself. I don't know how this works, and why this works, and why it would analyze itself for telling Zemus, but okay, I guess. And we're hoping this is the last one. Last random encounter for the run. Let's hope that this is the case. The stair is right there. Right there. And we're done with the random encounters. Now, battle speed fast. Let's revive the rest, I guess. And then gotta do mini, entire party. And then battle speed fast, yes, just to be sure. And on to the final boss. We have a couple minutes of cutscenes actually going on. So, Conductor Argic, if you're with us one more time, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Agam. We do want to let you all know this is the ESA Summer 21 train bound for Save the Children. We have currently raised $32,554 for Save the Children. We can keep ourselves going much, much higher. If I can just find my lovely little sheet here telling me some totals, I believe we are about to come up to our next donation total at $35,349 is ESA 2014. Do please keep all your donations coming in here as we proceed very quickly on this train through the rest of the marathon.
Okay, so story-wise, we're dealing with the different forms of Zemus right now, or should I say Golbez and Fusoya are currently dealing with the body of Zemus right now. But this is only a husk. This is not his real Zeromus. The quote-unquote real Zeromus is what you're about to see right now. Or well, it's not. This is not the real Zeromus actually either. You can actually get the real Zeromus once you use the crystal, which you will get right after this cutscene. They tried Twin Meteor, and everything. but they can't hit this guy. They can't hit the Zemus. Why? Golbez used the crystal. This would make Zemus vulnerable. However, because Golbez has a dark history of destroying so many lands, families, places, and everything, he has no bright heart, and the crystal will shed no light for you. And as it says, your hands will only stain it darker still. And thus, Zemus casts Meteor. In the meantime, kills Golbez and Fusoya. And then, that's us. Cecil with 1 HP. And we're now getting a flashback. A lot of people appear now in the upper right corner, telling us, hey, you can't die now. You have to win. With the power of friendship. Like, that's in a nutshell. The power of friendship is gonna heal Cecil and the entire party. The power of friendship is healing everyone. So, once I start the battle, it's gonna be like 3 minutes. Like, as soon as I start, using the crystal and start doing things with the characters, it's gonna be around 3 minutes to the end. To the person who does split for the final boss, the final boss will have 2 different quote-unquote shades, as in one brighter shade right at the start of the fight, and then a darker shade. When in the darker shade means there have been negative status effects applied to him. Once we attack and kill Zemus and his shade goes back to the brighter shade again, that's when he can time. That's when he can press time. And Ben Nash is probably going to remind you right before it happens.
Yes.
But, yeah, and we are about to fight Zemus, and I would love if Ben Nash can take over with how Zemus works and how we're going to handle him, because this is another one where timing is key, and we have to be super fast with the menus.
Yes, absolutely. So at the beginning, it's actually sort of chill, like he won't do anything until you use the crystal on him. So we're going to use this time to apply buffs to our entire party and time it such that when we use the crystal, we hit him with slow, we hit him with cry, all of the debuffs, and then immediately start attacking him as much as possible. So right now you can see him using X potions on Kane. Because of the reverse glitch, it will damage him and eventually put him at critical HP. So Adrenaline activates, his attacks deal twice as much damage. And then after a while he will activate Haste March, which boosts speed. Here he also casts Haste, which also boosts speed. And then he'll cast Berserk on Kane as well. Just like that. And like when Haste March activates, Kane is gonna attack at like lightning speed. But on top of this, he also needs to deal some damage with Edge. Even though his attacks are slower, he needs the damage to push him. So here we go. The transformation, Haste March, perfect timing.
Give it up for the amazing final boss theme, by the way.
Yeah.
Counter flare. This happens because of slow. I forgot to come adrenaline! Wait, did I? Did I?
No. I don't think so.
I think I just had a really low damage roll. Did that
Yeah,
be the case?
yeah. Probably.
Oh my god. Oh yeah. We have... Oh.
Random low damage roll.
Dude, I'm getting scared for nothing right now. I should use Gongnir. Gongnir is gonna deal a bunch of damage if it's hit. But that's a problem. It has to connect first.
Yeah.
Gongnir, please hit!
So we can actually manipulate sort of which attacks he will go for. And he has like some attacks that are like completely garbage. Like one of his moves is just to shake. Yes. It doesn't do anything.
Yes.
And here's another one, Osmos, which doesn't do anything either. So that's like perfect. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Move
the
on,
less
sorry.
HP he has, like, which attack he'll go for is dependent on how much HP he has left. So if you damage him enough before he gets attacks in, you can try to make it more likely to use like bad moves like this. Because he has some terrible attacks. Meteor, which heals Kane, puts him out of adrenaline range. And then he has Black Hole, which removes all buffs to your party. So you have to reapply them.
Also, as you can see, I'm going like into the attack menu and going out of it because that triggers what the wait mode does, and it's kind of like ADP wait trick. If we do that, then in the meantime, Zeromus ATB bar cannot move on. Just
So
FYI.
I think we're getting somewhat close to the end now.
No!
Oh, okay, there we have
Okay,
Meteor.
we're like 1 or 2 hits away. Like,
Yeah. The moment his body gets like bright again, that's when we have time.
okay, it should be happening like right now. Okay, next attack probably. Okay, the next attack probably.
The next one.
Yep, GG.
There we have it. Time. Well done.
Okay, so I timed the run myself as well, just to see how badly I performed, and the time I got was 3:49:31, which, I mean, is like, what, 21 minutes better than the estimate?
Yeah.
But it's 12 minutes behind my PB. And just to show how incredible this run is, how demanding and how RNG heavy and everything, it's crazy. Like, the start of the run looked really good, but everything went down drain later, really fast. And world record is a 3:36, by the way, just FYI. Okay, I don't think I can talk for too long, because the next runner is probably up there. Starting to set up now for the stream. Some closing words from my side. First of all, big shoutouts to my amazing commentators, Bendesh and Mitako, for doing an absolute phenomenal job being here with me today and showing off this run to all of you guys. Thank you, both of you, for the amazing commentary. The Only Kid and Arctic, thank you two very much for what you have provided me throughout the run. Absolutely amazing. You guys are absolute legends. German Tree Stream, thank you so much for the opportunities I had to work with you. To the Japanese restream, Soru Ashiria-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much for doing the commentary for FF4. Shoutouts to the entire ESA staff that I was allowed to take part in this run. It is my first run in a marathon, so I am super happy that I was able to show this off, especially for the amount of work and time I put into this game over the years. I want to thank you all very much for everything. And I want to give a very special thanks to a good friend of mine, Skate for a Living. If it weren't for Skate for a Living, I would probably not sit here today and would speedrun this video game. He has speedrun Final Fantasy XII back in the day, and that got me into speedrunning in the first place. Shoutouts to him for being the biggest inspiration for getting me into speedrunning. Yeah, and what else is there to say? Yeah, follow Bendesh if you want to see some more FF4. Same if you want to follow me. There will always be some more FF4 stuff, as well as Final Fantasy XII. Speaking of Final Fantasy XII, this one will also happen tomorrow around the same time. Don't miss that one. And yeah, if you feel like watching more of this, I'm trying to stream almost every other day this game. And yeah, with that said, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for having me. Thank you all, ESA chat. Thank you all for donating. And I'll give it over to the next one, which is, if I remember correctly, Alien Isolation, correct?
You are correct. Yep, it is going to be Alien Isolation race coming up here between Nico Hart and Dryux. You are not going to want to miss this because there's a bit of a twist on it. But there we go. That is it. This has been Final Fantasy IV. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back, ready for the next run.
Best of luck, you two. Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.